initiated a video call. He Chaolian answered promptly. Lian, you're still awake, I presume? Her mother's voice echoed from the phone. He Chaolian smiled, replying, Mommy, we just returned from the concert and we're about to sleep. Good. Make sure to rest early, since you must be tired, her mother advised, engaging in casual conversation. Then, almost casually, she inquired, Lian, what do you think of Wang Yu? He Chaolian's grip on the phone tightened suddenly, her ears flushing with heat. With a distracted gaze, she stammered, Mom, why do you ask this all of a sudden? You seem nervous, her mother teased lightly, chuckling. Your father wishes to matchmake you with Wang Yu. I merely wanted to inquire. I think he's quite nice. He Chaolian finally uttered, her voice barely above a whisper. The moment the words escaped her lips, she hastily buried her face into the pillow, revealing only half of her reddened ear. As our dear Lian finally awakened to her feelings, Aunt San was greatly reassured and cheerfully remarked, You are aware of how much your father values Wang Yu. The family's circumstances are not particularly favorable, and fortuitously, you also harbor feelings for Wang Yu. Therefore, be bold and take initiative. The He family is considered affluent in Macau, a source of envy for many, yet, when compared to Wang Yu's family, it is but a flickering firefly beside the radiant moon. If you win over Wang Yu, you will become a lady of the Wang family. And since you're fond of him, it is truly a splendid opportunity. A girl should be a bit more proactive. Look at your sister, He Zhaoxin, who has long coveted Wang Yu. Do you not perceive her intentions? Wang Yu might be snatched away at any moment, and would that not sadden you? Mother is not pressuring you. Rather, she is offering you advice. When love presents itself, one must take the initiative. This time, you must heed Mother's words. Chapter 329. Were you startled? Unable to withstand her mother's persistent persuasion, He Zhaolian's heart gradually softened. She had already developed affection for Wang Yu and thus obediently followed her mother's counsel, secretly making her way to Wang Yu's room, unbeknownst to He Zhaoxin and the others. In the bathroom, Wang Yu posed a question he yearned to ask his father. Father, are you aware that Xiang Long and Xiang Hu from the Ian Association are ancient martial artists? Logically, the Xiang family would have access to ancient martial artists and even cultivate them. Given their stature, they should have been aware of such matters. Yet Wang Yu had never heard Wang Zhangwo mention it over the years. He possessed the title of Memory Master, ensuring he would not forget any related information. And he was certain that Wang Zhangwo had never discussed such topics at home. Otherwise, he would not remain uninformed. These matters were initially intended to be revealed to you at a later time, Wang Zhangwo remarked, unfazed by the inquiry. Since you are aware now, there is no harm in telling you. Wang Yu's interest was piqued, and he listened intently as Wang Zhangwo continued. You have encountered ancient martial artists, and tonight, you also came across that fortune teller, Chen Keizi. I believe you have some inkling that this world is not as simple as it seems. I hold this perspective, yet I remain uncertain about the true circumstances. Wang Yu furrowed his brow and replied, You must remember that modern society is a technological one. There may be phenomena that transcend our understanding, but they are merely relics of a bygone era, unable to stir significant waves. Many historical occurrences or true transmissions have nearly vanished through the passage of time. Even if someone has managed to cultivate genuine skills from a few remnants, they are but paper tigers in the face of firearms, of little practical use. Wang Yu then grasped that his father had always been aware of these matters. Wang Zhangwo spoke with disdain, showing little concern. Nevertheless, Wang Yu felt there was more to it. Perhaps deeper secrets remained undiscovered in this world. After Wang Zhangwo concluded, he paused and chuckled. Did you not always know? Arrangements have been made for your close protection. Now, try calling out toward the window. How should I call? Wang Yu queried, glancing at the bathroom window with curiosity. This is the top of the MGM Hotel, at several hundred meters high. Could he possibly fly in? Just try. Wang Yu scratched his head and then called out to the brothers outside the window. Would you care to join me? No sooner had he spoken than a faint sound of metal scraping wafted in from the bathroom window. Before Wang Yu could react, a shadow flitted past the frosted glass. And with a soft thud, a figure clad in black tactical gear appeared, hanging like a gecko, peering in. Wang Xiao, it is I, Shadow. The low, gravelly voice resonated with a magnetic timbre. The man bent his knees, leveraging his strength, and descended gracefully to the ground, his boots making scarcely a sound upon contact with the marble floor. Wang Yu's pupils constricted sharply. Until this figure materialized, he had felt no presence whatsoever. It was worth noting that his physical prowess had reached an impressive 150 points, augmented by the title of Combat Master. An ordinary person venturing this close would undoubtedly have triggered his instincts. Yet, this man in black had approached him from hundreds of meters away, only revealing himself at the very moment he appeared. Truly a terrifying feat. The man before him, appearing to be in his 40s, donned a black combat uniform. His angular features were etched with fine lines akin to knife marks, which only served to accentuate the lethal glint in his hawk-like eyes. Wang Xiao. There is no need for alarm. I am a member of a special military unit, having been assigned to protect the commander closely until recently. 6 months ago, the commander instructed me to ensure your safety. He stood tall, saluting, his muscular physique resembling solid rock. I specialize in close-quarters combat, melee weaponry, modern firearms, explosives, reconnaissance, and disguise. I have been by your side. Just call upon me if you require assistance. Wang Yu's gaze was drawn to a gruesome scar that marred the man's neck, trailing from his face and barely visible beneath the collar of his uniform. Wang Yu activated his true sight, and the man's information materialized before him. Name: Lin Jianzong. Shadow: age: 45, height: 178 centimeters, charm: 88, physique: 199, affinity: 80, skills: military killing techniques, not viewable, Xingyiquan, not viewable. Once again, Wang Yu found himself unable to discern the depths of this individual. Gazing at the man before him, he felt an unsettling sense of danger. Every hair on his body standing on end, setting aside the unviewable skills, with a physique of 199 points. It would take but a single move for him to eliminate Wang Yu. A wave of relief washed over him. This formidable expert was here to protect him, not to pose a threat. The voice of Wang Zhengwo echoed through the phone. Well, how was that? Surprised, were you? Impressive. Wang Yu marveled at Shadow, his eyes brimming with admiration. Rising from the bathtub, a sudden thought struck him, and curiosity sparkled in his gaze as he asked, Where do you stay tonight? How do you usually reside? Could it be that Shadow was clinging to the exterior of the building? Was he akin to the martial arts masters depicted in television dramas? Sleeping on a mere thread? Surely, it couldn't be that absurd. Wang Xiao, you're overthinking it. I alternate shifts with another partner to ensure your safety. The Shadow smiled helplessly and remarked, I reside just beneath your floor. Typically, wherever you go, we shall follow closely, always in proximity to your designated quarters. Very well. Then you may return, Wang Yu said, suddenly enlightened. He had assumed that such martial arts masters existed in the open without the need for food or drink. He had initially considered inviting the Shadow to rest in his room, but it seemed that such hospitality was unnecessary. Indeed, young Master Wang. Upon finishing his statement, the Shadow turned and leaped towards the window, soaring hundreds of meters into the night sky. Wang Yu felt a shiver run down his spine as he stood up and approached the window, gazing outside. The dazzling neon lights of the MGM illuminated the night, revealing a scene of vibrant prosperity. The sea breeze tousled Wang Yu's hair as he scanned the area, yet the Shadow's figure was nowhere to be found. Wang Yu felt a deep sense of satisfaction with his bodyguard. After taking one last glance outside, he returned to the bathtub and reclined comfortably. You have met the Shadow. There is also the Dark Hawk. You can rest assured about them. With their skills, no one in the country can harm you. The jovial laughter of Wang Zhengwo resonated from his phone. They typically operate from the shadows, allowing you to conduct your affairs without interference during times of safety. Perhaps they could remain by my side instead of hiding away. It would be more convenient to avoid startling anyone unexpectedly. The unique status of the Shadow and his companions made their presence in public unsuitable. Suddenly, Wang Zhengwo's tone grew serious. Also, do not expect them to handle matters for you. Your grandfather emphasized that they will not intervene unless there is a life-threatening crisis. Chapter 330. Why are you in my bed? This is something you must understand. All right. However, is having only 2 of them not a bit too few? As your treasured son, could you not assign a few more? Wang Yu replied without hesitation. He already had a multitude of connections, and ordinary individuals could scarcely approach him. Not to mention, he was immune to firearms. In Huagua, he felt no fear. Nonetheless, he still desired Wang Zhengwo to procure additional bodyguards for him. The more powerful protectors, the better, especially since he was already exposed to the public eye. Having an extra bodyguard would enhance his security until he achieved absolute invincibility. There would always be threats to his life. Wang Yu valued his life greatly. You think rather highly of yourself. Do you understand their worth? I am a loss. If you have the means, ask your grandfather, Wang Zhengwo chided with a chuckle. Very well, if there aren't any, so be it. Wang Yu felt a tinge of regret, then recalled Chun the Lame and stroked his chin. You know that Chun fellow, right? He seems quite extraordinary. His identity is quite special, and he has treated you favorably, which is rare. Did he say anything to you? Indeed, He mentioned that I possessed the auspicious signs of purple qi, indicating great fortune and opportunity. He also stated that the He family's fortunes had declined, but due to my influence, their luck has improved. Wang Yu did not withhold any details and recounted Chen the Lame's words verbatim to Wang Jiangwo. Excellent, excellent, excellent. The sound of Wang Jiangwo's enthusiastic applause reverberated from the phone, stirring a sense of exhilaration within me. Truly, he is of my lineage. Even Chen Banjian has asserted that you possess great fortune, which is indeed splendid. Your trip to Macau was undoubtedly fortuitous. Countless individuals yearn for his divination, yet find it elusive. With his affirmation, your grandfather is quite pleased. Is it truly a rarity to consult him for a reading? Wang Yu, perplexed by Wang Jiangwo's excitement, inquired. Wang Jiangwo's boisterous laughter echoed. His temperament is quite peculiar. He does not charge for his readings, nor does he seek power. It all hinges on destiny. Many dignitaries have sought him in vain. Upon hearing this, Wang Yu casually glanced at the Fei Xian account of one Ren Xiangrui, a wry smile gracing his lips as he remarked, I have the Fei Xian of his disciple. What? You possess the Fei Xian of his disciple? Wang Jiangwo exclaimed, astonished and utterly confounded. Could it be that this foolish son of his truly possesses great fortune, garnering Chen's unique regard? Having received a reading from Wang Yu is one thing, but for his disciple to connect with Wang Yu is another. Indeed, he mentioned returning to find me after his apprenticeship. Wang Yu chuckled softly. His revelation served primarily to gauge Wang Jiangwo's awareness of the happenings around him. It appears that the shadowy duo is not as omniscient as presumed. After all, the casino was heavily guarded by He Youjuan's bodyguards, making it exceedingly difficult to blend in. They must have observed from a distance, lacking insight into the finer details. You've performed admirably. You must cultivate a good rapport with his disciple. Countless influential figures would claw their way to establish such a connection, yet fortune has bestowed it upon you effortlessly. Wang Jiangwo sighed in exasperation. In Wang Yu's infancy, Wang Jiangwo had sought out Chen Banjian with the intent of having his fate read, eager to discern his destiny. Despite his efforts, he found it impossible to locate him. Yet a mere visit to Macau brought him fortuitously face to face with Chen, who willingly offered a reading. Truly, as he had foretold, Wang Yu is destined for great fortune. Otherwise, their paths would not have crossed. After ending the call, Wang Yu carelessly tossed aside the latest model of the Yao Yaoling. Frowning, he opened the system panel. Ding! System upgrading 35. There were still 2 days remaining until the system upgrade was complete, and after a brief glance, he dismissed it from his mind. Rising, he wiped the droplets of water from his robust physique and stepped outside. Approaching his bedroom, he noted the darkness within, the lights extinguished. He recalled that they had been on previously, yet he thought little of it, assuming he had inadvertently turned them off. He reclined onto the bed, burrowing beneath the covers. His expression suddenly frozen, and mechanically turned his head. Nothing appeared out of the ordinary, save for the outline of the blanket rising beside him. What was this sensation? Could it be as he feared? Wang Yu felt a surge of anger. How did the He family regard him? While he undoubtedly harbored an attraction to beautiful women, particularly He Chaoyan and He Chaoxin, it hardly warranted sending every woman to his bed. Was he truly such a ravenous individual? Wang Yu, who initially held a favorable impression of the venerable He Hongshun, began to reconsider his thoughts. He activated the perspective eye and peered beneath the covers. A pristine expanse of white greeted his gaze, and the alluring curves of the figure prompted Wang Yu to nod in approval. This woman possessed an enviable physique. Though he remained curious about her visage, his eyes gradually ascended, ultimately halting upon a familiar face, rendering him momentarily speechless. How could it be her? Wang Yu abruptly flung back the covers, revealing He Chaoyan's flushed countenance. Wang Yu, brother. He Chaoyan shyly shielded her modesty, a potent scent of alcohol wafting from her. She had come to Wang Yu's bed, entirely unclothed, waiting for him to emerge from the bath. Yet, after a protracted wait, he remained immersed in the tub. Rolling about on the bed, her mind was awash with anxiety, pondering what she would do if Wang Yu were to rebuff her, fearing he might perceive her as a promiscuous woman. However, her mother's words echoed in her mind. If she did not seize this opportunity with a man like Wang Yu, He Chaoxin might swiftly take the lead, and she could hardly compete with her sister for a partner. Determined not to live with regret, she resolved that Wang Yu must possess her that night. Yet, trepidation lingered. Donning a garment, she stealthily ventured to the living room to procure a bottle of red wine, which she consumed in no time. Had she not known she awaited Wang Yu, she would have succumbed to slumber long ago. At that moment, upon beholding Wang Yu's handsome visage, she couldn't help but smile dreamily. What are you doing on my bed? Wang Yu, upon witnessing her bashful grin, nearly erupted into laughter. He reached for a blanket to cover her. When had he become so irresistibly charming? With the progress made in their relationship that evening, Wang Yu believed that with a few more encounters, she would agree to be his girlfriend. Yet, was this not all unfolding too swiftly? Wang Yu, brother, will you have me? I adore you, He Chaolian declared, embracing Wang Yu's heated form. His striking features were one thing, but his physique was equally impressive, an 8-pack, the lines of a merman, and a robust chest that captivated her. She pressed her entire being against him, feeling an overwhelming sense of bliss. Chaolian, do you understand what you are doing? Wang Yu felt a surge of heat coursing through him, yet he endeavored to maintain his composure. I do, He Chaolian's voice, soft and laced with inebriation, nestled against his chest, inhaling his scent. He Chaolian, your hands should not wander. This could lead to trouble. Wang Yu encircled her waist, restraining her mischievous hands. Who told you to be so delightful to touch? He Chaolian beamed, observing Wang Yu's flustered expression before tilting her head to kiss him. Wang Yu was momentarily taken aback, yet he soon reciprocated, savoring the sweetness upon his lips. As He Chaolian's fingers traced his neck, her warm breath mingled with the rich aroma of the wine and his own scent, enveloping him. Wang Yu felt his throat tighten, instinctively drawing her closer into his embrace. The world seemed to suddenly lose its sound. Only the intertwined heartbeats resonated in their ears, and He Chaolian felt Wang Yu's powerful heartbeat, becoming increasingly intoxicated. Hia Keys, imbued with the softness of inebriation, resembled the gentlest catkins of spring, yet bore an irresistible fervor that tantalized his taut nerves. He Chaolian let out a soft whimper, her legs growing weak, nearly collapsing against him. Time slipped away unnoticed until, breathless, she finally released him, her watery gaze fixed upon him. Her cheeks flushed like the evening sky. Wang Yu, dear brother, I truly adore you. Without regrets? He Chaolian's eyes shimmered with unshed tears. Her delicate hands began to playfully stir once more. Wang Yu, ignited by her allure, could no longer restrain his bodily response, flipping her beneath him. With her so forward, any further hesitation would render him less than a man. Wang Yu, love me, she implored, wrapping her arms around his neck. Her eyes glazed with longing as she leaned in for another kiss. The room fell into darkness, the air thick with their hurried breaths. A lamp tilted precariously, casting a warm glow upon their entwined shadows. Outside, rain began to fall, the rhythmic patter against the glass mingling with their intermittent gasps, echoing throughout the night until silence finally enveloped them. Meanwhile, in the adjacent villa, He Chaolian lay hidden beneath her covers, silently shedding tears. She was unsure of her own emotions, feeling an overwhelming urge to cry. Despite the late hour, sleep eluded her as visions of He Chaolian entering Wang Yu's room replayed in her mind. She had intended to ask Wang Yu if he desired a midnight snack, but upon reaching the door, she had caught sight of He Chaolian lurking outside. Ultimately, she had witnessed her entering the room. After waiting for what felt like an eternity, and with no sign of her sister's return, she had resigned herself to her own room. Why was He Chaolian visiting Wang Yu at such a late hour? Wang Yu had already expressed his affection. What was her sister in such a rush for? It was utterly frustrating. How exasperating He Chaolian was, truly infuriating. He Chaolian pounded her pillow in irritation. Unable to sleep, she rose, dressed herself, and left her room, making her way to He Yu-jun's quarters. She hesitated momentarily before knocking resolutely on his door. After a considerable wait, the door swung open. Sis, why are you knocking at this hour? I'm in the middle of a video call with Meng Yao, He Yu-jun remarked, glancing at her with an air of exasperation. He Chaolian ignored his words, brushing past him in a huff as she entered the room. In the living room, the tablet still displayed Meng Yao's face. Upon seeing her friend, He Chaolian's displeasure faded, and she settled onto the sofa, greeting her. Understanding that He Chaolian had a matter to discuss with He Yu-jun, Meng Yao bid them good night and ended the call. He Yu-jun took a seat opposite He Chaolian, casting her a sidelong glance. What is the matter? Oh no, it's over for me. I've completely lost my chance. He Chaolian could no longer hold back, bursting into tears. He Yu-jun was immediately flustered, pulling out a tissue and handing it to He Chaolian, whose tears flowed like a river bursting its banks, crying incessantly. He Yu-jun helplessly looked at her and said, Chaolian, who has bullied you? What on earth has happened? Please tell me. I cannot assist you if you keep crying. Woo-woo. I just saw He Zhaoyan go to Wang Yu's room. He Zhaoshan cried even louder, stammering about what she had just witnessed. At that moment, He Yujun comprehended the source of her sorrow. It was the feeling of lost opportunity. Given the current circumstances, it appeared that He Zhaoshan truly had no chance. He Zhaoyan's beauty was undeniable, and as her brother, He Yujun was acutely aware of the many suitors vying for her attention, including several from prestigious families. How could Wang Yu possibly resist when she presented herself so openly? It was utterly impossible. He Yujun couldn't help but smack his forehead. Originally intending to devise a strategy for He Zhaoshan to win Wang Yu away from He Zhaoyan, the situation had escalated far too swiftly. Brother, please think of a way for me. I truly like him. If I cannot be with him, I will surely suffer. He Zhaoshan sobbed uncontrollably, her image forgotten in her distress. Fortunately, the rooms at the MGM Hotel were constructed with special materials, ensuring absolute soundproofing. In any ordinary hotel, her cries would likely echo throughout the entire building. Helpless against her tears, He Yujun sighed resignedly. All right, stop crying. I will think of a way. What way could there be? The situation is already this dire. He Zhaoshan gradually quieted her sobs, though her sniffling persisted as she wiped her tears. Let me think. He Yujun observed her state, feeling a wave of dizziness. They had only known each other for a few days, and she was already so deeply entangled. What immense charm did Wang Yu possess? Logically, even if she felt affection, it shouldn't have developed so rapidly. Yet, both He Zhaoshan and He Zhaoyan had fallen head over heels, with He Zhaoyan practically delivering herself to Wang Yu. He could not fathom it, nor could he conceive a way to help He Zhaoshan win Wang Yu's affection. He rose and went to the wine cabinet, retrieving a bottle of red wine. As he poured glass after glass for He Zhaoshan, he felt a twinge of sympathy, yet after some contemplation, he chose not to intervene. Allowing her to drink seemed the only option to stave off a sleepless night. He Yujun's mind raced, striving to devise a suitable plan. Wang Yu's significance to their family was unquestionable. Both his father and mother hoped for a son-in-law like him, so offending him was not an option. With He Zhaoyan as his sister and He Zhaoshan as his own sibling, how could he possibly assist? He Yujun shook his head, taking a sip of his wine, sighing, "Even with my intelligence soaring to 300, I find myself powerless." The next day, at 2 in the afternoon, Wang Yu lounged on a beach chair, bare-chested and clad in beach shorts, donning sunglasses worth 18,000. He relaxed, watching He Zhaoyan and He Zhaoshan play volleyball in the distance, savoring the leisurely summer afternoon. Here lies a private beach near the MGM, typically reserved exclusively for its patrons, now further restricted, allowing only Wang Yu to enter. The beach, adorned with the allure of bikinis, has lost its charm for Wang Yu, who finds himself rather bored. It appears splendid, yet it is merely superficial. He cast a glance at He Yujun, who was applying sunscreen on a nearby chair, and remarked nonchalantly, "He Yujun, do you not feel embarrassed? A grown man applying sunscreen." He scoffed. "Not everyone is like you. How can you not fear the sun?" He Yujun, irritated by Wang Yu's nonchalance, hurled a bottle of sunscreen at him, only for Wang Yu to catch it effortlessly. Frustrated, He Yujun cast a jealous glance at Wang Yu's sun-kissed, muscular physique, then bent down to meticulously apply the foolish sunscreen on every inch of his skin. This is utterly unfair, he thought. Wang Yu is not only handsome, but also taller than me, and yet he remains unbothered by the sun. Truly perplexing. Wang Yu took a sip of the freshly pressed coconut juice, feeling quite pleased with his sun-resistant skin. Initially, He Zhaoyan had intended to apply sunscreen on him, but she suddenly recalled his ability to heal rapidly. A mere touch of ultraviolet rays? What is there to fear? Reality indeed aligned with his expectations. The damage inflicted by the sun could not outpace his skin's recovery rate, leaving him at ease. A real man would never resort to sunscreen. Not even a dog would. As Wang Yu savored his coconut juice, a bright voice echoed from afar. "Brother Wang Yu, come join us for a game of volleyball." It was Yi Chaoxin, her arms raised high, the tassels of her pink bikini dancing with her movements, radiating vitality under the sun. Her expression was natural, betraying none of the sorrow from the previous night. Yet, beneath her enchanting eyes lay faint dark circles, hinting at a restless night. He Zhaoyan, hands on her hips, raised an eyebrow and said playfully, "What's the matter? Afraid to compete with us sisters? I just finished applying sunscreen. Any movement will surely have you regretting it." He Yujun glanced at the eager sisters in the distance, then down at his carefully applied sunscreen, hesitating. Before he could voice his thoughts, Wang Yu swiftly rose from his lounge chair, his bronzed abs glistening in the sunlight, captivating the eyes of Yi Chaoyan and He Chaoxin. Particularly He Chaoyan, who had felt his physique last night, knew just how impressive it was. The memory of Wang Yu's prowess rendered He Chaolian breathless. Her gaze fixated on the taut lines of his torso as last night's memories surged in her mind. She recalled the sensation of her fingertips gliding over his sun-kissed skin, firm and warm, imbued with an intoxicating strength. The sea breeze, laden with salt, swept past her ears, failing to dissipate the heat rising in her cheeks. The look in He Chaolian's eyes softened with tenderness as she gazed at Wang Yu. Enough talk, let us go. Loser treats me to a grand dinner tonight. With that, Wang Yu stood, pulling He Yu-jun along by the arm. How could I say I won't go? Aren't we on the same team? If we lose together. Why should I be the one to treat? He Yu-jun exclaimed, visibly aggrieved. As Wang Yu pulled him along, the four of them quickly gathered at the beach volleyball net, with He Chaolian and He Chaoxin synchronously positioning themselves on one side. They exchanged a sly glance, a mischievous spark dancing in their eyes. Wang Yu and He Yu-jun were cracking their knuckles, exuding an air of inevitable victory. We'll play best out of three. The loser becomes the little puppy. Before He Chaoxin could finish her sentence, she unexpectedly tossed the volleyball high into the air and slammed it fiercely toward the opposite side. He Yu-jun had yet to react when Wang Yu dashed forward, skillfully setting the ball up, allowing He Yu-jun to leap and deliver a stunning spike. He Chaoxin and He Chaolian demonstrated remarkable teamwork. With a swift turn, He Chaolian nimbly positioned herself to intercept the falling volleyball and aimed it toward Wang Yu. Wang Yu, you've lost. He Chaoxin teased, laughter bubbling from her lips. The angle of the ball was particularly tricky. Having just served, Wang Yu was still adjusting his stance and was certain he could not receive it. Nearby, He Yu-jun and Wang Yu had not synchronized well, standing too far back, making it impossible for them to intercept the ball. Just as He Chaoxin and He Chaolian began to revel in their success, they witnessed Wang Yu lean back slightly, using his waist to execute a graceful somersault, sending the ball back over to the opposing court. He Chaoxin was taken aback by his agility on the sand, momentarily stunned, and the ball rolled right at her feet. She gazed at the rolling volleyball in disbelief, her eyes wide, and stomped her foot in protest. That's cheating. That move is a foul. She pointed at Wang Yu, who had yet to fully regain his balance, his hair sticking to his flushed cheeks due to the vigorous activity. It's just one set. There's still a chance, He Chaolian said, biting her lip, though her eyes betrayed her admiration for her boyfriend. After picking up the ball, she offered consolation to He Chaoxin. Wang Yu shook the sand from his hair, dust clinging to him as well. It's your turn to serve, he said with a raised eyebrow and a smile. His gaze swept from He Chaoxin to He Chaolian, surprised by her impressive figure, one he had not noticed before. However, having already shared intimate moments with He Chaolian and solidified their relationship the previous night, he felt it inappropriate to linger on her too much, given that she was He Chaoxin's sister. Got it, He Chaoxin exclaimed as she hurled the ball skyward, the orange volleyball tracing a dazzling arc in the sunlight. This serve was more powerful than the last, heading straight for He Yu-jun's face. He Yu-jun jumped in a panic, barely managing to catch the ball, and returned it with a flick of his wrist. Upon seeing the ball sent back, He Chaoxin's expression sharpened, and He Chaolian quickly assumed a defensive stance. He Chaolian bent her knees slightly, her gaze fixed on the ball's trajectory. Strands of hair dancing in the sea breeze, beads of sweat glistening on her face in the sunlight. She looked stunning as she effortlessly directed the ball toward Wang Yu, who, like a cheetah, leaped up, executing a fierce spike that landed heavily at He Chaoxin's feet. Not this trick again. Can't you face me head on? He Chaoxin stomped her foot, defiantly exclaiming. As Wang Yuluo landed, he brushed off the dust from his clothes, a mischievous smile playing on his lips. It's all about winning in a competition. This was already a restrained display from him, given his physical prowess. If you're to unleash his full potential, his basketball skills would render even world champions ineffective. Chapter 333. Intelligence plummets. He Yu-jun suddenly scooped up a handful of sand and hurled it towards Wang Yuluo, who deftly dodged the attack and immediately countered. Seeing this, He Chaoxin gasped, her eyes darting, as she seized some sand to join the fray. Meanwhile, He Chaolian, who was merely a spectator, found herself unexpectedly bombarded by sand from an unknown source. Her previously joyful expression froze. Who did that? Don't run away. Ha ha, come and catch me, sister. He Chaoxin laughed, turning to flee. In no time, the beach was filled with joyous laughter and playful banter. At that moment, a tall and exquisite woman, standing at least 8 meters, approached from a distance, dressed in a simple white backless gown. Adorned with a flower by her ear and holding a cup of chilled lemonade, she commanded attention. Her posture was striking, her neck held high like a swan, each step resonating with the precision of a runway walk. Observing the chaotic scene from afar, He Yujun instinctively shrank back, wanting to turn away upon seeing his disheveled state. "Hey, Mingyao, you finally made it." He Yujun, who was frolicking by the seaside, noticed the girl and his face lit up. Despite enduring a few grains of sand thrown his way, he rushed towards her. He Yujun jogged up to Shi Mingyao, grasped her hand, and with a goofy grin said, "Congratulations on successfully completing the Victoria's Secret fashion show. I promised to accompany you, but something came up at home. Please don't be mad. I truly apologize." Seeing He Yujun holding her hand, Shi Mingyao smiled with resignation. "It's all right. I know you didn't mean it. If I were really upset, would I still come? Why are you so dirty?" She added, noticing the sand clinging to him, and reached out to carefully clean him up. He Yojun's heart raced at her touch, and as he gazed into her enchanting eyes, he became increasingly entranced. Shi Mingyao caught his gaze and teasingly asked, "What are you staring at? Just wait a moment." The expression on He Yojun's face brightened instantly, and he dashed away towards the distance. "What are you doing?" Shi Mingyao exclaimed, nearly tripping over herself as she watched him run off. With a sigh of exasperation, she muttered, "So reckless." Not long after, He Yujun returned to Shi Mingyao's side, hands clasped behind his back, smiling. "Guess what gift I prepared for you?" Shi Mingyao, pleasantly surprised, joked, "You didn't prepare spicy strips for me, did you?" "Of course not," He Yujun replied, slightly embarrassed. Although he knew she enjoyed such snacks, it would be inappropriate to present her with spicy strips. "What is it then?" "I can't guess." Scratching his head, He Yujun revealed a bouquet of exquisite roses from behind his back. "This is for you. Do you like it?" "Not bad," she replied. Shi Mingyao brought the flowers to her nose and inhaled their fragrance, only to suddenly sense that something was amiss. It seemed that something was concealed within the blossoms. As she extracted a gift box from within, she turned to He Yujun and inquired, "What is this? You wouldn't be gifting me something extravagant, would you? I cannot accept anything from you." He Yujun hastily declined, assuring her that it was merely a trinket of little value. Reluctantly, Shi Mingyao accepted it, and at He Yojun's urging, she slowly opened the box to reveal an exquisite necklace. "It's a Pandora necklace. How beautiful!" she exclaimed. "Do you like it?" he asked. "It's quite lovely," she replied. "Then allow me to put on for you." He Yujun hesitated, struggling internally with words he wished to express, yet hesitated. Ultimately, he shook his head and gently adorned her with a carefully selected necklace. Not far away on the beach, Wang Yu teased Zhao Lian while holding her close. "Your brother seems perfectly normal, yet he turns foolish in the presence of Shi Mingyao. If this were to leak online, it would certainly attract considerable attention." "Enough of that. Whenever my brother is with Shi Mingyao, his IQ plummets," Zhao Xian exclaimed, covering her face upon witnessing He Yojun's foolish demeanor, which was almost unbearable to witness. Yet, seeing everyone paired off, she could not suppress a pang of envy. A glance at Wang Yu dimmed her eyes with a tinge of bitterness. The sea breeze, laden with a salty tang, swept past her ears as she gazed at the embracing couple. Their radiant happiness pierced her heart deeply, compelling her to conceal her sour smile within the sea wind, allowing the damp air to wash over her reddened eyes. Nevertheless, she fought back tears, not wanting Wang Yu to see her in such a state. She resolutely recalled He Yojun's words from the previous night, reminding herself not to act petulantly in front of Wang Yu. She would wait for an opportune moment to arise, to seize her chance when their relationship showed signs of strain, or when Wang Yu grew weary of Zhao Lian, or if they encountered conflict and separation. At that moment, her opportunity would present itself, and her sister could not blame her for it. Wang Yu kissed Zhao Lian's rosy lips, feeling utterly elated. Zhao Lian tenderly embraced Wang Yu's sturdy frame, her eyes sparkling as she glanced toward He Yujun. Wang Yu's gaze was filled with affection, and he then activated his true sight. Name, Zhao Lian. Age, 27. Height, 170 centimeters. Charm, 97. Physique, 85. Favorability, 96. Skills, advanced financial management, advanced golf, advanced skiing. Intermediate ballet. He had not anticipated that Zhao Lian would be so naive, having approached his bed last night, willingly offering herself. In the end, she had even confessed her purpose for being there. Seeing her tear-streaked face and pitiful demeanor, Wang Yu found it in his heart to forgive her. Zhao Lian genuinely harbored feelings for him, a sentiment Wang Yu could sense, further validated by the favorability score of 96 displayed in his true sight. The intentions behind He Jia's cordiality were not lost on him. He could surmise that He Chaoyin's overt enthusiasm was undoubtedly propelled by He Hongshun and her mother. Initially, his trip to Macau was merely to honor a request from Xiang Zhao, which led him to attend the celebration of He Hongshan's venerable age. What they sought was merely the protection of the Wang family, which posed no challenge for Wang Yu, easily attainable. The cunning old fox, He Hongshan, did not articulate his desires outright, but instead offered his daughter. This indeed yielded the desired outcome, contingent upon Wang Yu's affections, which fortuitously aligned with his growing fondness for the seemingly aloof yet innately innocent He Chaolian. Otherwise, no matter how elaborate the He family's plans, they would be futile if he were unwilling. Wang Yu was no longer the Na'vi young man reborn. Ordinary women could not stir his heart. Following their profound exchange the previous night, his affections for He Chaolian deepened. He was also quite pleased with her compliance. During their cooperative gaming session, she endeavored to fulfill his wishes. However, in terms of her skills at the king rank, He Chaolian still required considerable improvement, necessitating further training to avoid hindering their progress. Chapter 334. Clearly doubting my character, do you think Yu Jun will propose to Shi Mengyao? Wang Yu inquired, stroking his chin as he glanced at He Chaolian. It should be in the next few days, right? He Chaolian shook her head, responding with envy. Don't let his usual boldness fool you. He behaves quite submissively around Sister Mengyao. I heard he's planning to propose to her before the new year, wanting to bring her home. I see. Wang Yu nodded in acknowledgement. Suddenly, He Chaolian seemed to have an epiphany, turning to Wang Yu with a puzzled expression. Wait a moment. Why are you so concerned about them? How do you even know Sister Mengyao's name? Her gaze sharpened as she regarded Wang Yu, aware of the many women surrounding him. But she absolutely could not tolerate the notion of him having designs on Mengyao, who was indeed her brother's girlfriend. Such concern was utterly unacceptable. He Chaolian fixed him with an intense gaze, while Wang Yu felt a pang of dread. It was over. He had inadvertently let slip something he ought to have kept to himself. He Chaolian had not introduced her. This woman was Shi Mengyao, the girlfriend of He Yujun. Information he should not possess. Wang Yu's forehead broke out in a cold sweat, but a sudden spark of inspiration struck him, and he composedly replied, I came across some tabloid articles online. It's not strange for me to know her name. I see, He Chaolian said, tapping her head as she processed this, feeling somewhat embarrassed. Indeed, He Yujun had once pursued Shi Mengyao by appearing on a variety show, aiming to win her heart through televised romance, which had garnered significant attention online. It would not be surprising if Wang Yu had stumbled upon it. Wang Yu suddenly reached out, gently pinching her cheek and planting a soft kiss on her delicate, crimson lips. Your gaze earlier was clearly one of doubt regarding my character. I did not. He Chaolian quickly retorted, feeling a tinge of embarrassment. Do you truly believe I am such a fickle person? Wang Yu feigned a sorrowful expression. You have no faith in me at all. It truly pains my heart. I am sorry, Wang Yu Gij, it was my mistake. Then you must make amends. What do you wish for my compensation? He Chaolian inquired with curiosity, though a charming blush involuntarily crept across her face. Wang Yu mischievously replied, You shall find out tonight. How insufferable! He Chaolian, fully aware of his insinuation, playfully pounded her fist against Wang Yu's chest, though she also felt a flutter of anticipation for the evening ahead. As they conversed, Wang Yu's expression turned contemplative, suddenly sensing something amiss. In his previous life, He Yujun had not proposed to Shi Mengyao until the following year, and it was then that they welcomed their first child. However, according to He Chaolian's words, He Yujun seemed to harbor intentions of proposing at this very moment. This deviation from his recollections was perplexing. How could the timing of the proposal be so advanced? He could not possibly misremember the timing of the proposal. After all, he possessed the title of a memory master, ensuring that past memories could not be forgotten or mistaken. Could it be attributed to the butterfly effect? In this lifetime, He Yujun had interacted with Wang Yu, appearing at He Hongshan's birthday celebration, thereby weaving intricate connections with the He family. Perhaps, influenced by Wang Yu, He Yujun's thoughts had shifted, resulting in the acceleration of his proposal to Shi Mengyao. This interpretation made sense. However, if that were the case, the memories Wang Yu carried might diverge significantly from those of his past life. Thus far, only the people around him had changed. As the depth of these influences grew, it was conceivable that future events might trigger a chain reaction, leading to outcomes entirely different from those in his mind. Wang Yu felt a pang of regret. If his conjecture held true, would his foresight ultimately become futile? This was not an impossibility, yet he found little to lament. Such prescience merely facilitated his investments, allowing him to discern which companies held significant potential and when global upheavals might occur, thus enabling him to prepare in advance based on his previous life's memories. The absence of such foresight was not a loss. He possessed ample wealth. Even if precise investments eluded him, he could simply acquire any company that caught his eye. Nevertheless, he believed that despite the world's transformations, the overarching course of history would remain largely unchanged. The relentless flow of historical currents was beyond the influence of any single individual. Unless he could steer the development of an entire nation, only then might he alter the trajectory of the world itself. It was only natural for the life paths of those who had interacted with him to exhibit some divergence. This was hardly surprising. At that moment, He Yujun approached with Shi Mengyao, introducing her with a grin. Wang Yu, this is my girlfriend, Shi Mengyao. Isn't she stunning? My name is Wang Yu, and I am the boyfriend of He Chaolian. Wang Yu extended his hand to shake hers and smiled. Shi Mengyao, filled with delight, said, Hello, Wang Xiao. I am Shi Mengyao. Your name is indeed renowned. I have been following your music. She was genuinely happy to meet Wang Yu here. This newly emerged internet heartthrob had caught her attention, and she had learned about him. Just last night, during a conversation with He Yujun, she discovered that Wang Yu, who had been absent from the online scene for some time, was now in Macau for leisure. Moreover, he had become friends with He Yujun. After participating in the Victoria's Secret competition, He Yujun had suggested she take a vacation in Macau to relax. However, she felt utterly exhausted and longed to return home to rest. She had no desire to go anywhere else. Later, from He Yujun, she learned about Wang Yu's presence and what had transpired in recent days. Driven by the desire to meet this super-rich heir, she made her way to Macau. Seeing Wang Yu, who had eclipsed the fame of Wang Xikong and Qin Fun, Shi Mengyao could not help but nod in admiration. Wang Yu truly lived up to the title of a new heartthrob, having supplanted Wang Xikong as the nation's beloved husband. Setting aside the impressive family background that far surpassed others, one could not ignore his chiseled features, radiant smile, and a physique akin to that of a fitness trainer, which justified his esteemed title. He Yujun noticed the appreciative gaze Shi Mengyao directed at Wang Yu and instinctively glanced at Wang Yu's well-defined abs, causing him to involuntarily tighten his stomach. This was indeed an oversight. He considered himself relatively disciplined among the wealthy elite, maintaining a clear abdominal definition year-round. Yet, standing beside Wang Yu, he felt diminutive, akin to a slender monkey. How could he have forgotten the allure of Wang Yu and even introduced him to Shi Mengyao? His pride in his physique, appearance, and family background paled in comparison to Wang Yu's overwhelming presence. A wave of anxiety surged within He Yujun, fearing that his beloved Shi Mengyao might be captivated by Wang Yu. If that were the case, he would be utterly devastated. His heart raced with trepidation. But upon observing that Shi Mengyao showed no further interest in Wang Yu, he sighed in relief. He almost lost his beloved. Thankfully, he and Shi Mengyao shared a genuine love. His spirits lifted once more. Let it stir for a while. We're all friends, so just call me by my name. Wang Yu smiled. Shi Mengyao chuckled lightly and nodded. All right then, I shall call you Wang Yu. He Yujun quickly diverted the topic, pointing towards a yacht approaching in the distance. Mengyao, to celebrate your success at Victoria's Secret, shall we enjoy some time on the sea? Isn't that a bit too much? The entertainment of the sisters' place is quite enjoyable as well, Shi Mengyao replied, glancing at the approaching yacht. It's not a hassle. It just so happens that Wang Yu is here as well. Let us all go enjoy ourselves together. He Yujun shot a knowing glance at Wang Yu. Shi Mengyao rarely accepted his extravagant gifts, let alone join him for fun on a yacht. He had suggested it before, only to be met with her refusals. Coincidentally, Wang Yu happened to be present, and thus, he became the perfect excuse. Considering the face of Wang Yu, Shi Mengyao could hardly disregard his dignity. I found myself equally intrigued. Wang Yu, noticing the playful wink directed at him, though somewhat puzzled, still obliged and responded accordingly. As anticipated by He Yujun, Shi Mengyao felt compelled to acquiesce and agreed to accompany them to the yacht. Before long, the yacht appeared on the horizon. The vessel lowered its gangway, and Wang Yu and his companions gradually made their way aboard. This luxurious superyacht spanned over 90 meters, boasting 5 lavishly appointed decks adorned with high-end furnishings. It featured a billiards room, an esports area, a small bar, and even a helipad. Everything one could imagine, far surpassing the previous yacht owned by Wang Xikong naturally. The price tag also reflected this opulence, reaching well into the hundreds of millions. In addition to the skilled crew responsible for navigating the vessel, there were dozens of service staff and several bodyguards on board. Once Wang Yu, He Yujun, and the others boarded, the captain retracted the gangway, and the yacht's engines roared to life as it began to gracefully accelerate towards the open sea. Wang Yu and He Chaolian ascended to the topmost deck, casually surveying the interior decor. Beneath their feet lay a hand-woven Persian carpet, while an immense bed dominated their view. Adjacent to the bed was the endless expanse of the ocean, with seagulls soaring above, creating a breathtaking vista. One entire wall facing the sea was entirely replaced with anti-glare glass. Wang Yu approached the panoramic window and spread his arms wide, feeling an overwhelming sense of tranquility. How beautiful! He Chaolian joined Wang Yu, linking her arm with his, and gazed out at the magnificent scenery, exclaiming her admiration. Upon hearing her words, Wang Yu turned his gaze towards her autumn-like eyes and softly declared, "No matter how stunning the view outside, it pales in comparison to your beauty. How insufferable! You only know how to flatter," she teased, playfully tapping his chest while tilting her head to meet his gaze. Wang Yu, embracing the alluring He Chaolian before him, tenderly kissed her soft, delicate lips. After a lingering moment, when He Chaolian could scarcely catch her breath, Wang Yu reluctantly released her from the sweet embrace. "What are you doing?" He playfully scooped her up and began heading towards the bathroom. "I'm all sweaty, of course. I'm going to take a shower. I can wash myself." He Chaolian quickly realized Wang Yu's lecherous intentions and hastily declined. "Ha ha ha, that's not up to you." The gentle spring breeze accompanied their playful banter, leading to yet another round of delightful mischief. Time passed unmeasured until the yacht reached a serene patch of sea, where it switched off the engines and anchored. With a gentle breeze caressing the horizon, seagulls occasionally perched upon the deck to rest, and the crystal-clear waters revealed glimpses of fish swimming near the surface. The scenery was nothing short of exquisite. Wang Yu and He Yu-jun, armed with fishing rods, made their way to the bow of the yacht. Behind them, He Chaolian, He Chaoxin, and Shi Mengyao lounged in their bikinis, whispering to one another while casting sidelong glances at Wang Yu and He Yu-jun. With great enthusiasm, He Yu-jun adjusted his fishing rod before casting it into the tranquil waters. Wang Yu was fishing in rivers, lakes, and even small ditches, but this was his first experience casting into the sea, which felt remarkably novel. The sea rod differed from a standard fishing rod, but after He Yu-jun's explanation, Wang Yu grasped its functionality. Upon casting it into the water, he held the rod with one hand and settled down comfortably. Observing this, He Yu-jun cautioned, "Wang Yu, do not be so careless. The fish in these waters are no trivial matter. Be wary, or you might find yourself dragged into the sea." Wang Yu raised an eyebrow and smiled, just about to make a jest when the rod in his hand suddenly trembled violently, its carbon fiber body bending into a crescent shape. "We've got something." Before He Yu-jun could finish his sentence, the fishing line emitted a piercing screech as it was forcefully yanked away. The tip of the rod bent sharply. To He Yu-jun's astonishment, Wang Yu maintained his stance with one hand on the rod, unfazed by the strength of the fish beneath the water. This fish was sizable indeed. Wang Yu felt the power in his grip and intently observed the splashes on the sea surface, activating his perspective vision. In an instant, his gaze penetrated the water, revealing a vibrant array of unfamiliar fish. Sea turtles, jellyfish, and a kaleidoscope of colorful fish came into view. Following the direction of the tugging line, he spotted a swordfish, nearly as long as a person, thrashing about painfully at the ocean floor after biting the hook. The surrounding fish scattered in fright. Noticing the commotion, He Yu-jun set down his rod and rushed over to Wang Yu. Excitement etched on his face as he watched the unfolding spectacle. He continuously directed, "Let's struggle for a while. Don't rush to reel it in." Suddenly, the surface of the sea erupted in a massive splash as a silver-blue figure breached the waves. He Yu-jun focused intently and realized it was a swordfish, easily a person's length, its dorsal fin slicing through the air like a blade, with droplets of water refracting a rainbow of colors in the setting sun. "Goodness, it's a swordfish. Such a size. Steady now. Don't let it retreat into the reef." He Yu-jun exclaimed with exhilaration. "Wang Yu, be careful. This type of fish is not easy to catch. Rest assured." "Hey," Wang Yu replied, gripping the rod with both hands and starting to reel it in. Detecting the impending danger, the swordfish, like a silver lightning bolt, surged with newfound energy. It violently swung its crescent-shaped tail, dragging the line at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour, causing the rod to emit a strained hum while sparks flew from the reel's gears. Overwhelmed by the rapid rotation, yet Wang Yu held the rod firmly. No matter how fiercely the fish struggled, it was futile. With his immense strength, he gradually pulled it closer to the yacht. "Brother, you're impressive." He Yu-jun cheered from the sidelines, entirely unconcerned that the line might snap in this fierce contest. The rods they were using were quite expensive. It would be ludicrous for the line to break on such a small swordfish. The three sisters, Wen Zhao, had already abandoned their lounge chairs and rushed over, barefoot, to watch. Meng Yao recorded the scene on her phone, capturing Wang Yu's tense jawline and tousled hair in the sea breeze, juxtaposed with the surging waves, creating a tableau imbued with sexual tension. Should it be posted online, it would undoubtedly captivate countless young admirers. Chapter 336. Beautiful sister, do not deceive me. He Yujun stood anxiously to the side, wanting to assist, but fearing he might disrupt Wang Yu's rhythm. Wang Yu remained calm and composed, skillfully alternating his movements to tire out the swordfish. He Chaoyan and He Chaoxan gazed with starry eyes, captivated by Wang Yu's undeniable charm and masculinity at that moment. Mind if I start a live stream? Shi Mengyao called out to Wang Yu. He glanced at her and replied nonchalantly, do as you wish. Encouraged by his indifference, she promptly activated her audio streaming account, feeling no need to consult He Yujun, given her substantial following of over 1 million fans. As soon as the stream began, dozens of viewers flocked to the live room. However, upon failing to catch a glimpse of Shi Mengyao's exquisite face, the group of lecherous spectators quickly expressed their disappointment. Why are you streaming a man? Turn the camera to yourself. We only want to see you. Indeed, a day without you feels like 3 autumns. Mengyao, my dear, how I've missed you. Shi Mengyao stole a glance at He Yujun, who was anxiously focused on the swordfish in the ocean, and couldn't help but smirk. Are you certain you wish to see me, and not this man? Absolutely certain. We are here to see you. Shi Mengyao nodded and adjusted the camera to focus on her face. That's better. Why did the host venture out to sea? You ought to listen to us, or we might just leave. With a charming smile, Shi Mengyao addressed her audience. Thank you all for your concern. I am here with He Yujun and Wang Yu. So you're with He Yujun and the others. That brings me comfort. Wait, that's not right. Wang Yu. Host, turn the camera around. Did you just say this man is Wang Yu? Beautiful sister, do not deceive us. The barrage of comments in the live room surged instantly. It had been a while since Wang Yu last appeared online, and many were surprised to learn he had been out at sea. Meanwhile, Shi Mengyao remained unfazed, keeping the camera trained on herself as she smiled at her viewers. You all seem to long for my presence, claiming a day apart feels like 3 autumns. Today, I shall indulge you a little more, as I seldom stream, making it difficult for you to catch a glimpse of me. As soon as she uttered these words, the live room erupted into wails of despair. Please, host, turn the camera around. Sister Shi, have mercy. I have watched Wang Yu's previous live stream, where he gave away money 800 times. I'm certain I did not mistake him. I just want to see the real deal. I'll bet 10 packets of spicy strips. He is just an ordinary fisherman. If you turn the camera, I will shower you with rockets. Sister, do not force me to beg on my knees. Let me see my idol. As the intensity of the live stream grew, the number of fans surged to over 3,000. Newcomers, baffled by the comments, saw many pleading, transitioning into threats. If you don't turn the camera, I will unfollow. Others followed suit, casually canceling their subscriptions. However, Shi Mengyao remained unmoved. Instead, she redirected the camera to showcase the luxurious amenities of the yacht, giving her audience a taste of opulence. The fans were left parched for more. Recognizing that intimidation proved futile, one could only resort to persuasion. A formidable figure of the 48th level, known for his fondness for cilantro, urged, speak plainly, old woman. What gifts must be bestowed to shift the camera's focus? Instantly, a shadow crossed Shi Mengyao's face, her fury manifesting as she stamped her foot, declaring, unless there are 10 luxury sports cars, you shall not behold the male deity. It appeared that the earlier call for beautiful sister had indeed emanated from this cilantro enthusiast. Such a transformation in demeanor was startlingly swift. You uttered those words. Do not renege. The cilantro aficionado implored, anxious that Shi Mengyao might retract her statement, and promptly began showering gifts in the live stream. 10 sports cars. My generosity knows no bounds. I shall procure them forthwith. He urged, old woman, quickly redirect the camera. Do not go back on your word. Numerous brothers are watching. Indeed, we have long tired of gazing at your visage. Only the male deity can captivate my attention now. The atmosphere in the live stream began to take a peculiar turn, with comments veering into an odd direction. To fulfill your demands, here it is, your male deity. Upon receiving the sports cars, Shi Mengyao's expression brightened, her smile returning as she swung the camera toward Wang Yu. The billfish, having been dragged by Wang Yu for quite some time, was nearly spent, its silver-blue scales glistening with traces of blood. Still struggling weakly beneath the yacht, Wang Yu seized the moment, exerting force with his left hand to grip the reel, the fishing line screeching under the strain. His right hand clamped down on the rod like a vice, leveraging his waist twist to pull back sharply. The fishing line snapped taut, transforming into a steel cable, and a massive billfish breached the surface, soaring into the air before its head crashed heavily against the deck's edge. He Yujun gasped, retreating a step to avoid being speared by the billfish. He Chaoyan and He Chaoxin, standing beside Wang Yu, were taken aback by the billfish's struggles as it was dragged aboard, their faces paling in fear as they sought refuge behind him. Shi Mingyao gasped in astonishment, witnessing Wang Yu kneel, effortlessly hauling the meter-long billfish onto the deck with one hand. Without a doubt, he is my male deity. Such prowess is astounding. Wang Yu's physique was remarkable. Even in a gym, one seldom encountered such perfection. Those pectorals and the 8-pack abs. Sisters, I have truly fallen for Wang Yu, exclaimed one of the viewers. This is how it should be. Dear host, share the splendid views with everyone. Another added. He Yujun, with a commendable physique of his own, paled in comparison to Wang Yu. In that moment, the livestream room surged with viewers, spurred by Wang Yu's appearance. The system detected a flurry of keywords associated with his name, amplifying the stream's visibility and flooding the room with traffic. Before long, the viewer count exceeded 100,000. Dear host, I risk everything to bring you this live stream. Should you not consider clicking the follow button in the top left corner? Shi Mingyao remarked cautiously, keeping her distance from the billfish. You are truly generous, beautiful sister. As long as you continue to stream, the gifts shall be abundant. Let us start with a click of respect. Do you not think that Wang Yu's physical prowess is rather extraordinary? He effortlessly lifted such a large marlin with a single hand. So what? Isn't it perfectly normal for a man of his caliber to possess considerable strength? Indeed, some men must be feeling envious. The marlin, still in its final throes of struggle, swept its tail fin against Wang Yu's calf. Yet it felt as if it were brushing against reinforced concrete, utterly unyielding. He freed one hand to press down on the fish's back to prevent its thrashing. With the other hand, he summoned all his might and delivered a powerful elbow strike to the fish's head. The scales on the marlin's head shattered instantly, scattering across the floor, and the fish gradually grew limp upon the teak floorboards, ceasing all movement. It was struck dead. The nearby staff and bodyguards, poised to assist, were utterly stunned, frozen in place. This was a fish weighing over 100 pounds, a feat that would challenge several individuals to restrain, let alone to kill outright. Yet, Wang Yu completed this act with such nonchalance, as if it were but a trivial task. The live stream captured the entire scene, leaving viewers astounded, jaws agape in disbelief. They were taken aback, realizing Wang Yu had indeed trained for such feats. His strength was astonishing. Sisters, I adore him even more now. My idol exudes masculinity and a sense of security. This is what a true man embodies. Only I seem to notice the plight of the unfortunate marlin, which ought to have lived freely in the ocean, now brutally slain. Indeed, it is quite pitiful. Shi Mingyao, sensing the conversation in the live stream was amiss, attempted to shift the topic. He Yujun approached, confirming the marlin was deceased, and gave Wang Yu a thumbs up, laughing, incredible brother. Your strength surpasses even the bodyguards I employ. He measured the fish before him in disbelief, exclaiming, this fish, along with its bill, must exceed 2 meters. The bodyguards who arrived upon hearing the commotion felt somewhat embarrassed and silently stepped back. Wang Yu then grabbed the fish's bill and, with a cracking sound, broke it off. Holding it in his hands, he examined it closely. The marlin's elongated bill resembled a sharp sword, truly deserving of its title as a marine predator. He then gazed at the fish's massive body and turned to He Yujun, asking, how is the meat of this marlin? It tastes delightful. It can be grilled or enjoyed as sashimi, He Yujun replied. Wang Yu nodded and pointed at the marlin, stating, then let us have the chef prepare it. We shall enjoy a barbecue. Sounds good, He Yujun agreed, waving to summon someone to take the fish to the kitchen for preparation. Wang Yu was indeed a tyrant in this realm. The staff promptly began tidying the chaotic scene, and a young server gazed at Wang Yu with admiration. This marlin, given its quality, could fetch at least 30,000. One could only say that Wang Yu was remarkably fortunate. Is this the lifestyle of a wealthy heir? Casually consuming a fish worth tens of thousands? I couldn't help but feel envious, as the only seafood I've tasted in the Northwest is shrimp. I cannot fathom what marlin might taste like. If I were to catch a marlin, I would undoubtedly choose to sell it. The viewers in the live stream, upon learning that this fish was valued at over 30,000, expressed their envy. One can only say that the lives of the affluent are remarkably unpretentious. The value of the food they consume often equates to the annual salary of an average individual. After tidying up the area, Wang Yu and He Yujun once again seized their fishing rods and resumed fishing. He Chaoyan and He Chaoxin also procured 2 rods. settling beside Wang Yu to join in the activity. Being out at sea, amidst the strong winds and turbulent waves, the sounds generated on the yacht's deck would hardly disrupt the fish. Shi Mingyao positioned herself directly next to He Yu-jun, while Wang Yu took a seat, setting his phone on a selfie stick in front of him. Observing the rapid flow of comments in the live stream, Wang Yu noticed a peculiar trend, as many users began to create a rhythm of their own. He clarified, "What this user said holds some truth. I have indeed never tasted swordfish, and I am uncertain of its flavor." In a live stream, an account named Last Night Stars commented, "Isn't this a bit pretentious? With such wealth, surely you've tried swordfish before. Why pretend otherwise?" Indeed, it was quite ostentatious. Who in the nation doesn't know that young Master Wang is a quintessential rich heir? Yet here he is pretending to have never tasted swordfish? Wang Yu shook his head and candidly replied, "I truly have not tasted it. Would I deceive you?" The internet is filled with all kinds of individuals, and Wang Yu is not inclined to take offense. This account was evidently trying to stir up animosity towards the wealthy, aiming to incite online harassment against him. However, most netizens understood that someone of Wang Yu's status would not trivialize such matters, particularly over a fish worth merely tens of thousands. He had far more substantial things to boast about than a single fish, which was hardly worth fabricating a lie. Yet, the barrage of criticism in a live stream against Wang Yu grew increasingly intense. Those who previously believed he should not have killed the swordfish emerged, condemning him for lacking compassion, stating that such a precious fish should not be slain so casually. They argued that as a rich heir, he could easily afford other food and questioned why he would resort to the cruel act of killing a fish. Wang Yu furrowed his brows, attempting to clarify. "First and foremost, I was born in Rhone Province, a mountainous region where seafood is not part of our culinary culture, let alone swordfish. Furthermore, I am not particularly fond of seafood, so there is no need for deception. And to those who claim I should not have killed this fish, are you not being overly intrusive? Do you not consume meat? Cattle, sheep, pigs, chickens, ducks, and geese are all living beings. Yet when you eat them, do you not exclaim how delicious they are?" The comments in the live stream surged even more vigorously. Netizens split into factions. Some supported Wang Yu, asserting his honesty and sincerity, insisting that it was merely a fish. If it was to be killed, so be it. Moreover, locals from Rhone Province validated that people there generally do not favor seafood. Conversely, others, led by Last Night Stars, launched unrestrained attacks against Wang Yu, even dragging He Yu-jun into the fray. The screen was filled with vitriol against the wealthy. One user remarked, "I can tell that Wang Yu is not a good person. He has cycled through one woman after another, deceiving the beauties from both the prestigious Day and Fuda universities." Indeed, appearances can be deceiving, despite the favorable portrayal online. One cannot ascertain the true nature of individuals in reality. The so-called playboy, a scion of privilege, has allegedly caused a young woman's untimely demise, driven to despair by his refusal to acknowledge his actions. It is rumored that he sought refuge abroad to escape the repercussions of his misdeeds. He Yu-jun, too, is no paragon of virtue, yet Wang Yu introduced his own sister to such a character, a lamentable choice. Be mindful of your words, for reckless speech may lead to legal consequences. Upon witnessing the live stream devolve into a cacophony of vitriol, Shi Mingyao hastily instructed the moderators to impose silence. Yet, the effect was fleeting. As one batch of accounts was silenced, another swiftly emerged. The viewership surged past 1 million, astonishingly even during the afternoon hours. Many uninformed individuals wandered into the fray, drawn into the ensuing verbal skirmish. The clamor to denounce Wang Yu grew louder, fueled by the rampant animosity towards the affluent, compounded by those waving the banner of animal protection. The discourse spiraled further out of control. "Shall I terminate the live stream?" Shi Mingyao inquired, perceiving the situation slipping from her grasp. He Yu-jun, also witnessing the chaos, suggested, "These individuals are beyond reason. It may be prudent to shut down the stream for a few days." Meanwhile, the sisters He Chaoling and He Chao Xian stepped forward to clarify matters on behalf of Wang Yu and He Yu-jun. However, the tempest of outrage had already been ignited, proving difficult to quell. The sisters found themselves subjected to scorn, accused of opportunism for seeking Wang Yu's favor despite his existing relationship. The wealthy, it seemed, squander resources with impunity, only to blame the impoverished for the consequences of their excesses in the wake of global warming. The discourse became increasingly extreme. A mere fish consumption sparked unwarranted outrage. The emergence of male practitioners in the realm of feminism only added to the absurdity. The participants in the live stream were embroiled in a battle of wits and emotions, many ignorant of the underlying issues yet eager to join the fray. Reasoned voices were drowned in the torrent of commentary. Wang Yu furrowed his brow, halting Xi Mengyao's impulse to end the stream. I regret ever embarking on this endeavor, she lamented, overwhelmed by the chaos she inadvertently unleashed. She fervently attempted to clarify her intentions to the viewers, acknowledging that had she not initiated the live broadcast, Wang Yu and He Yujun would not have faced such vitriol. Wang Yu observed the barrage of comments, a flicker of anger crossing his face. Though he bore no ill will toward Xi Mengyao, the remarks circulating in the live stream are evidently the result of meticulous orchestration from unseen forces, seemingly fixated on him, and are entirely unrelated to Xi Mengyao. The motives of these individuals remain a mystery to him. However, he understands that regardless of whether the orchestrators are organized or merely accidental, he must exact a suitable retribution. Ignoring them, He Yujun, your fishing rod is yielding results. Wang Yu took out his phone and sent a facial message to Wang Jiangwo, then turned to He Yujun and uttered a few words. He Yujun, who was engaged in a heated exchange with the online viewers, heard Wang Yu's comment and glanced towards the bait, noticing the fishing line being pulled taut. Clearly, a greedy fish had taken a bait. They're all speaking about you, continuing their online harassment, while we are all being mercilessly attacked. And you are here concerned about fishing? He Yujun pointed at his phone, his face flushed with rage, evidently incensed by the foolish comments of netizens. Wang Yu calmly took He Chaolian's hand, guiding her to sit on his lap. He Chaolian, puzzled, inquired, Brother Wang Yu, aren't you angry? Wait. Wang Yu replied with a gentle smile, leaning in to plant a soft kiss on her rosy lips. Do not allow these individuals to mar our joyful spirits. He Chaolian, initially furious, gradually calmed down under Wang Yu's soothing demeanor. Witnessing Wang Yu's composure, He Yujun too began to regain his tranquility. Realizing there must be a strategy behind Wang Yu's words, he grasped his fishing rod and commenced the process of reeling in the fish, choosing to disregard the negativity within the live stream. The words may be on their lips, but He Yujun could not control their speech. The group gradually resumed their previous demeanor. Xi Mengyao, who had intended to terminate the live stream, continued to direct the camera at him at Wang Yu's behest. The barrage of comments in the live stream was utterly vile, a cacophony of profanity and malice that laid bare the darkest facets of human nature. Wang Yu merely cast a fleeting glance before diverting his attention, aware that those who err must face the consequences. Let them revel in their arrogance a while longer. He Yujun took a deep breath, his hands firmly gripping the fishing rod, striving to stabilize the taut line. Noticing the significant commotion, Wang Yu activated his visual enhancement. To his surprise, He Yujun had hooked a grouper, a fierce carnivorous species known for its astonishing strength. Once caught, the fish unleashed a remarkable force, stretching the line to its limits, emitting a sizzling sound that suggested it might snap at any moment. He Yujun leaned back, his feet firmly planted on the deck, using his body weight to counter the grouper's pull. Yet, the fish seemed substantial, and he exerted all his strength just to maintain control. This fish is incredibly powerful. He Yujun gritted his teeth, the muscles in his arms bulging from the effort. He dared not recklessly reel in the line, instead employing a technique of letting out and pulling back, seeking to exhaust the grouper's stamina. Each time the grouper surged with vigor to escape, he appropriately released the line, ensuring it remained taut yet intact. As the grouper paused briefly, he swiftly turned the reel, retrieving some line. Wang Yu observed from the side, admiring He Yojuan's angling prowess, while offering advice. Yes, maintain your grip. It's currently exerting itself fiercely. Do not confront it directly. Wait until it tires a bit more, and then we shall pull it up. At that moment, the sea surface roiled due to the grouper's struggles, transforming the previously tranquil waters into a murky turmoil, occasionally revealing the massive form of the grouper beneath, sending splashes of water flying. The contest between He Yujun and the grouper persisted for quite some time, with the fish's struggles gradually waning. Sensing the opportune moment, He Yojuan's gaze sharpened as he rapidly turned the reel, drawing in the line with increasing speed, bringing the silhouette of the grouper ever closer. Finally, under the tense watch of the onlookers, a grouper nearly half a meter long breached the surface. Its body, a deep brownish green adorned with black spots, and its broad fins weakly flailing, sparkled with a faint glimmer in the setting sun. What a magnificent grouper! He Chaolian exclaimed excitedly, rising from Wang Yu's lap to gaze at the sea. He Chaoxin and Xi Mengyao also gathered around, their eyes brimming with astonishment. He Yujun, beaming with pride. Exerted effort to haul the grouper onto the deck, where it flopped heavily, creating a dull, thudding sound. Upon closer inspection, it was evident that this fish was not merely half a meter long, but nearly a meter in length. Wiping the sweat from his brow, He-Yu-Jun chuckled. Today is indeed fortuitous. This grouper will surely be exquisite when steamed. He-Chaoxin clapped her hands in delight. Nearby, the waitstaff approached the three, preparing to restrain the thrashing grouper. However, the fish was remarkably vigorous, struggling so fiercely that it took considerable effort just to remove the hook from its mouth. Wang Yu cast a glance at the barrage of comments in the live stream, where viewers expressed their outrage about the act of killing. He scoffed and said, "Allow me to assist you." "There's no need, Wang Xiao," the server began, only to witness Wang Yu seize the billfish spear resting nearby, hurling it directly at them. Before they could react, the spear, resembling a lance, struck the grouper's forehead with brutal force, causing blood to spurt forth. The grouper immediately ceased its struggle. Chapter 339. Quite strange, ah? Shi Mengyao was startled by Wang Yu's action, causing her hand holding the phone to tremble as she live-streamed. Viewers in the chat erupted in outrage as they witnessed Wang Yu kill the fish once more, interpreting his actions as a provocation. Every fish is a crucial component of the ecological chain. You must be mad. Humanity's relentless slaughter is disrupting the marine ecological balance. Do you comprehend how much water a mature fish can purify and how many microorganisms it sustains? This brutal livestream is tantamount to promoting crime. Fish possess pain receptors. Their struggles and convulsions during dismemberment are no different in essence from a human enduring torture. Before the screen, the executioner, how dare you exploit innocent lives for mere spectacle? Such gory imagery induces a visceral discomfort within me. Animals are not mere props for human amusement. Your morbid curiosity is fostering a societal indifference towards life. I implore the platform to ban such accounts. Let there be a total internet ban on Wang Yu. Vegetarians exemplify that humanity can indeed exist without resorting to slaughter. Yet they propagate a barbaric ideology of survival of the fittest. Choosing a vegetarian lifestyle transcends personal preference. It is a formidable stance against species extinction. Data indicates that consuming even a single fish accelerates the destruction of our planet. He-Yu-Jun leaned closer to the camera, his brow furrowing at first glance. He instructed the waiter to swiftly remove the grouper. Then, he addressed Wang Yu, saying, "These individuals feel off. Their linguistic logic and viewpoints seem far removed from those of our compatriots." It was as if He-Yu-Jun hesitated to articulate his thoughts. Observing this, Wang Yu smiled and remarked, "Do you believe the adversary originates from abroad? Indeed, environmentalism, vegetarianism, and animal protection rhetoric mirror the extremism of those Western lunatics." He-Yu-Jun was resolute in his speculation, inquiring of Wang Yu, "Have you offended any Western powers?" "Surely not." Wang Yu pondered momentarily, slowly shaking his head. He had presumed this force was domestic, wondering who might be covertly opposing him. Now, it appeared the adversary hailed from foreign shores. How intriguing. In his previous life, and this one, his most distant excursion abroad had been to the high seas for a Christie's auction, where he reclaimed several national treasures from a few Japanese individuals. He could not recall having wronged anyone else. Could it be those few Japanese men were behind this? Yet, that seemed improbable. Such a subtle form of retaliation felt rather feeble. It did not align with the typical conduct of those Japanese individuals. Aside from that, he had not offended anyone else. Those who had clashed with him were either imprisoned or too intimidated to retaliate. This situation became increasingly intriguing. Yet, Wang Yu decided not to dwell on it further. It was futile to ponder. Soon enough, the truth would reveal itself. Wang Yu resumed his silent fishing. On the yacht's deck, a sudden tranquility enveloped the atmosphere. The group ceased to focus on the live stream, engaging in conversation and fishing, relishing the cool breeze of the sea. The subsequent catch was rather decent, with Wang Yu and He-Yu-Jun both reeling in several fish, bass, mackerel, squid, and an array of other fish filling their nets. This is the allure of sea fishing. The vast ocean harbors countless creatures, and one can never predict what they might catch. Wang Yu gradually began to appreciate the charm of sea fishing, just as everyone reveled in their bounty. Wang Yu's fishing rod suddenly plunged, a powerful tug surging through, nearly wrenching the rod from his grasp. This fish possessed considerable strength. Wang Yu's gaze sharpened. He immediately recognized he had encountered a formidable opponent. He swiftly rose to his feet, gripping the fishing rod tightly with both hands. his feet firmly planted as he concentrated all his strength in his arms, attempting to counter the unknown force lurking beneath the water surface. Wang Yu, what have you caught? That commotion is quite substantial. He Yu-jun exclaimed, hastily approaching, his face alight with excitement and curiosity after setting down the base he had just reeled in. Judging by the disturbance on the water surface, his past experiences led him to speculate that this fish weighed at least 300 pounds. And that was merely a conservative estimate. The splashes suggested the possibility of an even greater weight. Meanwhile, the live broadcast continued, with viewers hurling insults at Wang Yu. This peculiar scene was decidedly unusual. One must understand that in Huaguo, while online disputes are rampant, any spectacle that draws attention tends to silence the critics in an instant. Wang Yu had evidently hooked an unknown aquatic giant, yet no one seemed to care, which was rather strange. We'll know once it's reeled in. Wang Yu slowly exerted his strength, engaging in a contest of wills with the colossal creature beneath the waves. The quality of this fishing rod was indeed impressive. It was a premium brand, built to withstand significant strain. The immense force exerted did not compromise the rod's integrity, but merely caused it to bend, allowing Wang Yu to confidently apply more pressure. After expending nearly 70% of his strength, he finally subdued the mysterious entity. He could sense that this catch was unlike any he had encountered before. The pull felt as if it originated from a deep-sea behemoth, each struggle imbued with tremendous force. Had it not been for his enhanced physique, He Yu-jun would have been thrown off long ago. He gradually released the line, allowing the fish to tire while maintaining a keen watch on the fishing line, which revealed the relentless thrashing of the enigmatic creature. Under his gaze, the line's end unveiled a massive, deep blue fish, measuring a staggering 4 meters in length. Its back was a rich navy, its belly a silvery white, with fins of a dark hue and faintly yellow small fins. Were it not for the absence of a shark's massive jaws, one you might have mistaken it for a shark. Fortunately, he activated both his true eye and inside eye, revealing the creature's details before him. Species: bluefin tuna. Life stage: mature. Length: 4,125 millimeters. Weight: 608 kilograms. Note: this is a tender-fleshed bluefin tuna, an extreme specimen that has surpassed its growth limits. So, it is a bluefin tuna. No wonder it is so enormous. This fish possesses tremendous strength. I must patiently wear it down. Wang Yu gripped the rod, fully focused on its movements. He Chaoyan, standing by, anxiously inquired, "Brother Wang Yu, should we call for security?" "Be careful." Indeed, He Xian shared her concern, her eyes fixed on the bending arc of the fishing rod, fearful that it might snap at any moment. Wang Yu turned to them, smiling reassuringly. "Not to worry. Today you shall have the pleasure of a good catch." As time passed, the fishing line was drawn out over a considerable distance. Yet the fish below showed no signs of revealing itself. Those who have fished before understand. The strength of a fish underwater is formidable. Even a fish weighing 20 to 30 pounds can prove to be a significant challenge for those who do not regularly engage in fishing. How much more so for a colossal bluefin tuna weighing 1,200 pounds? Wang Yu, endowed with a solidified skill set, maintained his exertion without succumbing to fatigue. While the fish beneath the surface began to falter, he could sense the diminishing resistance of the creature. He Yu-jun, watching anxiously from the sidelines, incessantly offered strategies. "Wang Yu, try shaking the fishing rod from side to side to disrupt its rhythm. Do not allow it to exert its strength unimpeded." Following this counsel, Wang Yu rhythmically swayed the rod. The bluefin tuna seemed perturbed, escalating its struggles, causing the surface of the sea to roil and splash. Suddenly, the fishing line slackened sharply, sending a jolt of alarm through Wang Yu, who feared the fish had unhooked itself. Regret washed over him. Had this magnificent fish escaped? He wondered if he would ever encounter such an opportunity again. Just as he prepared to reel in, a formidable tug returned, even stronger than before. A clever fish indeed. Wang Yu chuckled, excitement gleaming in his eyes. He silently prayed for the hook to remain secure, as long as it did. He was confident he could eventually exhaust the fish's strength and draw it closer. An idea sparked in his mind. Applying the principles of ancient martial arts to fishing proved to be an ingenious strategy. The fish's strength was gradually dissipated under Wang Yu's deft handling, and it began to swim toward the yacht. For over 10 minutes, Wang Yu engaged in a battle of endurance with the bluefin tuna, which finally began to tire, its struggles noticeably lessening. Seizing the moment, Wang Yu began to reel in steadily, yet powerfully. The line inched back, revealing a colossal silhouette beneath the surface. "Goodness, could this be a bluefin tuna?" He Yu-jun exclaimed, recognizing the species from the portion of its body emerging from the water. As the fish gradually surfaced, the onlookers were left in awe. It was an enormous bluefin tuna, measuring over 4 meters in length, robust in physique, its blue-black scales glimmering with an enigmatic sheen in the sunset's glow. Its dorsal fin rose sharply, resembling a keen blade slicing through the water. This must weigh several hundred pounds. Shimin Yao gasped, her mouth agape in shock. He Yujun shook his head, brimming with excitement. I once consumed a 300-kilogram bluefin tuna. In comparison, this one is dwarfed. This bluefin likely exceeds 1,000 pounds. He Chaolian interjected, her eyes wide with astonishment. She often indulged in bluefin tuna, yet she had never encountered one of such magnitude before, swallowing hard in disbelief. He Chaoxin exclaimed in delight. This fish must be incredibly delicious. As the fish finally succumbed to exhaustion, Wang Yu took a deep breath and bellowed up. In an instant, he hurled the magnificent creature onto the deck. As the bluefin tuna was brought aboard, it thrashed about violently, its immense strength causing the deck to tremble. The crew hastily retreated, fearing injury from such a formidable creature. This was no ordinary fish. It weighed over 1,000 pounds, and contact with it could be perilous. The value of this bluefin tuna was extraordinary. Rumor had it that at auction in Japan, a fish of exceptional quality could fetch astronomical prices. He Yujun exclaimed excitedly, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. This fish could potentially sell for tens of millions at auction. He Zhaolin scrutinized the magnificent creature and nodded in agreement. We must try sashimi later. Such a rare catch deserves to be savored. Wang Yu smiled, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment as he gazed at the colossal fish. He crouched down, gently stroking the tuna's scales, absorbing its vigor and vitality. Today was indeed a bountiful harvest. He had never anticipated landing such a magnificent specimen. Brother Wang Yu, you are incredible. Hurry, let us take it to the kitchen. He Yujun gulped, wholeheartedly supporting Wang Yu's suggestion. After all, it was merely a fish worth millions. For individuals of their affluent status, indulging in culinary delights was paramount. The waitstaff and bodyguards carefully transported the prized bluefin to the kitchen, cautious not to harm the delicate creature and compromise its flavor. Meanwhile, the live stream hosted by Shi Mingyao was ablaze with excitement. Viewers were captivated by the enormous bluefin tuna, and the comments flooded in like a tidal wave. Have you lost your minds? Why are you attacking Wang Yu? What nonsense! Exclaimed one user. Bluefin tuna is a premium ingredient, worth its weight in gold. Don't provoke Wang Yu. He might reward fans with a giveaway. Others chimed in. Wang Yu is phenomenal. His luck is simply extraordinary. A portion of rational viewers grew restless, stepping forward to chastise the trolls. However, they were but a minority, overwhelmed by the cacophony of negativity in the comments. As the excitement reached a fever pitch, the number of viewers in the stream soared to an unprecedented 5 million, all eager to witness this spectacular showdown. Wang Yu stood, offering a subtle smile to the camera, before turning to He Yujun and saying, "It seems today's sea fishing has exceeded all expectations." His smile, however, ignited a fierce reaction among some viewers. The comments section erupted in a torrent of vitriol, overflowing with profanities. Just wait, Wang Yu is a monster. We must make him pay for this. Some declared, if he can harm a fish, he must be the kind of man who abuses others. I dread encountering someone like that. Others rallied together, determined to voice their concerns for these innocent creatures, convinced that Wang Yu would soon yield and apologize. At that moment in Huagua, countless individuals witnessed this unfolding drama, beads of sweat forming on their foreheads. This group of fans was truly delusional. Expecting an apology from Wang Yu was sheer fantasy. Students at school discreetly pulled out their phones to watch the live stream, while professionals in towering office buildings stumbled upon Wang Yu's broadcast during their breaks, captivated by the spectacle. Weibo, Xiaohongshu, and various major platforms are all bustling with live video snippets being shared. The organic traffic has further heightened the popularity of the live streams. However, the influx of viewers has not diminished the voices of criticism directed at Wang Yu. Rather, they seem to be increasing. Curiously, the evident online harassment targeting Wang Yu has not been suppressed by the authorities. Chapter 341. Truly believing you can escape accountability, Wang Yu observed the rising fervor of a live stream, the timing almost perfect. He leisurely settled down, took out his phone, and surveyed the lively chat room before speaking in a measured tone. Are you certain you wish to continue? If you were to actively go live now, bowing 10 times in apology and promptly coming to me to express remorse, perhaps there might be a sliver of hope for my forgiveness. A chance to let you off the hook. Wang Yu was undoubtedly furious, laughing maniacally, clearly speaking nonsensically now. Enraged and humiliated, he began to lash out into the void, rallying everyone to demand an apology from him. A pitiful creature, only capable of impotent rage. As Wang Yu read the barrage of comments in the chat room, a cold glint flashed in his eyes. Since you refuse to show yourself, do not blame me. He glanced at the message on his phone, slowly reading aloud. Male, 33 years old. Name is Fu Hongyu. Currently in Europe, England, is it? The chat room buzzed with chatter and topics, yet those behind the scenes remained unperturbed. Wang Yu continued. You are indeed the son of Fu Dexin. The moment those words escaped his lips, the comments in the chat room dwindled abruptly. Before long, the disparaging remarks aimed at him vanished without a trace, leaving one astounded. Finally, this group of fools has disappeared. Who is this Fu Hongyu? And who is his father Fu Dexin, daring to provoke Wang Yu? Now, they must be in a panic, having been unmasked by young Master Wang. A complete clown, Wang Yu smiled brightly at the live stream. Now, this is more like it. If there are matters to address, speak them directly. Resorting to underhanded tactics is unnecessary. At that moment, He Chaoyan and the other girls sat quietly nearby, not daring to utter a word. Seeing Wang Yu uncover the mastermind behind it all, He Yuju no longer worried and continued to fish by the side. Wang Yu's smile was quite fearsome, and He Chaoxin exchanged glances with her sister, both bewildered. At that moment, a fully leveled account entered the live stream. Instantly, the chat room erupted into a flurry of golden dragons and petals falling from the sky. Without wasting any words, the newcomer declared, Wang Yu, knowing my name gives you some measure of capability, but what can you do to me while I'm abroad? Your father's corruption and abuse of power have led him to imprisonment, which is merely a light punishment for him. Wang Yu chuckled lightly and replied, You escaped once while abroad, instead of contemplating how to hide and live well. You come to trouble me. Have you lost your mind? Wang Yu tapped his head and scoffed. Surely, he could not believe that being abroad rendered him untouchable. If that were the case, it would be a gross miscalculation, as if the Wang family were to be trifled with. In the dimness of the night, the account of An Yi pulsated wildly within the live broadcast room, streams of text rapidly emerging, each laden with arrogance. Wang Yu, stop pretending. Your family's involvement in my father's situation is undeniable. If it weren't for your Wang family's scheming behind the scenes, he wouldn't have fallen. Do you think you can dominate domestically and wield power abroad? Wang Yu's expression remained unchanged, yet a colder smirk graced his lips. He spoke leisurely. Fu Hongyu, it seems you have reveled abroad for too long, forgetting who you truly are. Your father's corruption is evident. He walked into his own demise. Do not smear my Wang family with your filth. In the live room, the audience held their breath. The bullet comments sparse as they awaited the outcome of this virtual confrontation. Countless faces flushed with excitement, eager to witness the intricacies of this high-stakes struggle. A rarity to behold. He Chaoyan dutifully poured a glass of champagne for Wang Yu, presenting it to him. He lifted the glass, taking a delicate sip, then turned his gaze back to the screen, speaking contemplatively. Fu Hongyu, after hiding abroad for so long, do you truly believe you can evade retribution? Living lavishly on the people's hard-earned money, you now emerge to stir chaos. Do you wish to follow in your father's footsteps? Are you eager to join him in prison? The audience soon grasped that the owner of this prominent account was none other than the son of a corrupt official, enjoying his ill-gotten gains overseas. The barrage of comments erupted in fury. What kind of person are you? The son of a parasite dares to strut about? Every penny your father consumed was the lifeblood of the common people. You fled abroad like a coward. Why not return and confront Wang Xiao directly? A pathetic coward, living off the blood of the people while pretending to be a lord. Your entire family deserves to descend into the depths of hell. I propose we extradite him back home and deal with him properly. Investigate thoroughly. Demand the return of all the embezzled funds. Give the people an explanation. Just moments ago, you dare to slander Wang Xiao? Have you no shame? Scoundrels like you deserve to be captured. Countless individuals unleashed their vitriol upon Fu Hongyu, and Ye's account reappeared, the text brimming with manic defiance. A bunch of insignificant citizens dare to point fingers at me? I possess abundant wealth. I shall indulge as I please. What do you do to me? Pretending to be champions of justice. Wang Yu is merely relying on his family's influence. What distinguishes me from him? This tirade only fueled the anger of countless netizens. Yet no matter how vehement their insults, Fu Hongyu remained unfazed, reveling in his arrogance within the broadcast room. Meanwhile, across the ocean, in an opulent villa, a young man clad in casual attire furiously typed at his computer. the live stream of Shi Mingyao illuminating the screen. Hongyu, perhaps you should let it go, a woman beside him gently advised. Fu Hongyu furrowed his brows and paused his actions, expressing his discontent. Mom, both Dad and I have been harmed by Wang Yu. This is merely a small act of annoyance directed at him online. I still have other means at my disposal. However, the Wang family's influence is formidable. Could we be at risk? Perhaps we should reconsider, since he has uncovered our intentions. We ought to retreat into the shadows once more. We shall bide our time until a more opportune moment to strike at Wang Yu. The beautiful woman was greatly displeased with her son's actions. Worry etched on her face. She said, "Your father is already gone. With the remaining funds, we can still live well. Please do not squander this money on futile endeavors." As she spoke, she embraced Fu Hongyu tightly, tears streaming down her face. "You're all I have left. If something were to happen to you, how would I endure it?" Gradually regaining his composure, Fu Hongyu remained resolute. "Mom, I must avenge Dad. If I don't, I won't be able to swallow this indignity. This expenditure to tarnish Wang Yu's reputation is merely the first step. Soon, we will leave this place and once again conceal ourselves. When the time is right, I will ensure Wang Yu pays with his life." Chapter 342. Have you lost your mind? All right, as long as you understand what you are doing. The beautiful woman felt a wave of relief wash over her, exhaling deeply. Her greatest fear was that her son would be consumed by rage and seek revenge against Wang Yu. With her husband already gone, her foremost desire was to find a safe haven and live peacefully, unwilling to allow her son to become embroiled in conflict with Wang Yu. Meanwhile, the audience in the live stream was fervently demanding that Fu Hongyu come out and apologize. After contemplating for a moment, Fu Hongyu began typing on the computer. A surge of pent-up frustration released within him as he prepared to leave this place. "A bunch of fools go labor like cattle in Huagua. You should know that a portion of your money is in my bank account. How infuriating for you. Aren't you furious? Tonight, I shall indulge in several exquisite models, and you will be envious." Instantly, the viewers in the live stream erupted in fury, their keyboards nearly smoking from their heated responses directed at Fu Hongyu. Wang Yu savored his fine wine, remaining silent amidst the storm of insults directed at him in the live stream. The malevolence of humanity was displayed in full force. Many of those who had exposed him online were likely first hired by Fu Hongyu, while a considerable portion of the viewers were innocent. Nevertheless, many took this opportunity to unleash a torrent of vitriol against Wang Yu. Do not assume he was oblivious. He was well aware of the back-end data of the live stream. The envy directed at the wealthy was a sentiment many harbored to varying degrees, merely waiting for the right catalyst to erupt. Wang Yu was already a sensation online, boasting extraordinary looks and an elite background in Huagua, spending lavishly whenever he ventured out, surrounded by countless beautiful women. It was no wonder he incited envy. He was not surprised by it at all. It is human nature, after all, and Wang Yu could not expect to be liked by everyone. Fu Hongyu vehemently chastised the group, feeling invigorated, and then typed a message directed at Wang Yu. "Wang Yu, do not be too pleased with yourself. I am sparing you this time, but next time it will not be so simple." Wang Yu stared at the threatening words appearing on the screen, suddenly chuckling softly, a chilling gleam in his laughter that sent shivers down one's spine. This Fu Hongyu, who had been quiet until now, dared to provoke him. If Wang Yu did not resolve this matter, it would be a humiliation that echoed worldwide. Who would take him seriously thereafter? Spare you? Fu Hongyu, perhaps you have been abroad too long and your mind has dulled. What do you think you are to utter such words in my presence? The response from the dark web was frenzied and reckless. Wang Yu, do not think the Wang family can dominate everything. I have hired hackers on the dark web. Just wait. Within 3 days, I will expose all the unsavory secrets of your family. I refuse to believe your family is so pristine. How unfortunate for you. My family is indeed spotless, and you shan't have the luxury of waiting for 3 days, Wang Yu replied with a smile. Suddenly, a message pinged on his phone. Wang Yu picked it up and instantly grinned. A smirk curled on his lips as he addressed the live stream. Fu Hongyu, do you know what I can see right now? A rather fine villa, you sitting on the sofa with a glass of red wine on the coffee table. Clad in a Givenchy silk robe. Beside you is your mother. How pitiful, so far from home, the two of you left to rely on one another. The barrage of comments in the live chat fell into an eerie silence. Fu Hongyu remained silent, and countless viewers held their breath in anticipation, eager for Wang Yu to bring this extravagant scion, who squandered ill-gotten gains, to justice. In the villa, Fu Hongyu instantly panicked, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. Could it be that his men have come for me? His mother, visibly distressed, trembled as she gripped the wine glass, spilling its contents all over. I will go take a look. Fu Hongyu forced himself to remain calm, inhaling deeply before rising to peer out the window. The moment he raised his gaze, his pupils dilated in shock. Outside the villa, hundreds of armed police officers had surrounded the entire building. This was the end. Fu Hongyu's throat constricted violently, and cold sweat soaked through the silk robe. His mother's trembling hand clutched his arm tightly, fear evident in her voice. Hongyu, this cannot be. There is no extradition treaty. How could the police be here? Fu Hongyu clenched his fists, utterly bewildered by the situation. Damn it, what a bunch of useless fools. I spent so much money, and they've tracked me to my location. His fury was palpable. For this plan, he had placed a $10 million order on the dark web, hiring the world's top hackers. The individual who accepted the order had repeatedly assured him that Wang Yu would not discover his involvement. Fu Hongyu had even tested the hacker's skills for assurance before entrusting him with the task. Now he awaited Wang Yu's reappearance online. Upon the commencement of the live broadcast today, Wang Yu was instantly detected by the hackers. This triggered a series of public criticisms directed at him. Even his father was imprisoned, as a debauched heir living off his family's wealth. How could he possibly confront Wang Yu directly? This entire online scandal was merely the result of his desperate scheming. Yet, the unfolding events seemed to be turning unfavorably for him. The hacker's promise to keep Wang Yu unaware was nothing but empty words. His information was almost entirely exposed to Wang Yu. Now, the police had also appeared outside the villa. Regardless of the reason for their presence, he understood that the situation was perilous. Fu Hongyu snapped back to reality, frantically rushing to the living room to type. Dark Knight. Wang Yu, spare me, I will pay you. Whatever you desire, I will provide. He Xiaoxin, upon seeing the message, remarked, Brother Wang Yu. Dark Knight has messaged again. Wang Yu turned and smiled lightly. Is it too late to plead for mercy now? Dark Knight's messages flooded him like snowflakes, each imbued with deep regret. Young Master Wang, I was wrong. I have $300 million in a Cayman account. I will give you the account number and password right now. Just please make the police leave. My mother is unwell. She cannot go to jail. I don't want the money. I will give it all to you. Please, do not let Interpol take me away. I beg you. He Chaoyan observed the rapidly scrolling comments on the screen, her fingertips lightly caressing the rim of her champagne glass. Now realizing regret is utterly futile. I had thought he was a formidable figure. He is merely a clown. Wang Yu raised an eyebrow and chuckled. Soon, the live stream fell silent. Dark Knight ceased sending messages, and the atmosphere in the room became somewhat somber. After a while, a curious viewer sent a comment. Fu Hongyu must have been taken away by the police, right? I wonder if he can return to Huagua to face trial. He truly is deranged. Having narrowly escaped once, he still provoked young Master Wang. Now he must be regretting it. Chapter 343. His retribution has just begun with Fu Hongyu's disruptions absent. The live stream finally returned to normalcy. Although a few viewers expressed unsavory opinions, it was of little consequence. Even those who had previously spoken ill of Wang Yu, driven by jealousy or disdain for wealth, now feared retribution upon witnessing Fu Hongyu's arrest from afar. They dared not voice their thoughts any longer. Wang Yu had no intention of targeting these ordinary individuals. To evade the audience's gaze, he stood and walked to the edge of the deck. The sea breeze howled, tousling his hair. He retrieved his phone and initiated a video call, which was quickly answered. The video displayed Fu Hongyu's terrified visage. Upon seeing the police directing their attention towards his phone, Fu Hongyu pleaded, Young Master Wang, I was wrong. I repent. Please grant me mercy. Fu Hongyu sat trembling in the police car, overwhelmed with emotion. He felt an intense urge to kneel before Wang Yu, yet his hands and feet were firmly shackled, and police officers stood nearby, preventing any movement. Just moments ago, the confident figure of the Dark Knight had become a prisoner. What had transpired? Leaning against the railing, Wang Yu playfully mocked him, relishing the gentle sea breeze on his face while casting a glance at the video, where Fu Hongyu's countenance was etched with regret. Wang Xiao, I truly realize my mistakes. Fu Hongyu exclaimed, repeatedly banging his forehead against the handcuffs, blood trickling down without concern. I shouldn't have incited public opinion in the live stream, nor used a pseudonym to tarnish your reputation and that of your friends. I was blinded by greed, my mind clouded. It was too late. In the video, Fu Hongyu wept bitterly, yet Wang Yu showed no intention of sparing him and abruptly ended the call. Before long, the police car arrived at the precinct. Fu Hongyu was temporarily confined in a solitary room devoid of windows. Staring at the bleak surroundings, he felt a wave of despair wash over him. Had he known, he would never have provoked Wang Yu. Who could have anticipated such immense power from him? Captured even across the ocean, Fu Hongyu felt a sense of hopelessness. It seemed inevitable that he would face imprisonment. He yearned to return to his homeland, as enduring punishment there would be preferable to languishing in a foreign jail. He understood all too well that given his delicate appearance, he might encounter unspeakable horrors here, with a fatality rate alarmingly high, especially if Wang Yu were to expend a little money. He glanced pleadingly at a well-dressed Caucasian seated across from him. The man merely regarded him with indifference before dialing Wang Yu on video. Speaking in halting Chinese, Wang Xiao, how should we handle this person and his mother? Once the video call connected, Wang Yu pondered for a moment before responding, sent his mother back to Huagua for trial. Don't say, I didn't give an opportunity. As long as your hands are clean, I'll make it difficult for you. Thank you, Wang Xiao, thank you. Fu Hongyu exclaimed with unrestrained joy, his face adorned with a sycophantic grin. As long as he could return to his homeland, he would willingly face imprisonment. The worst outcome would merely involve a few years behind bars, after which he could once again revel in extravagance. The same Fu Xiao who lived life to the fullest. Are you celebrating too soon? I said to send your mother back. I never mentioned that you would return, Wang Yu remarked with a mocking smile directed at Fu Hongyu. In an instant, Fu Hongyu's expression froze, his throat constricted as if gripped by an invisible hand. After a prolonged silence, he managed to utter, Wang Xiao, you cannot do this. You are magnanimous. Please spare me. He lunged forward, the chains dragging noisily across the floor. His forehead striking the cold iron table with a heavy thud. I will give you money. I have $300 million. I will give it all to you. I want the money, and I want the person, Wang Yu replied calmly, a faint smile playing on his lips. The Caucasian, indifferent to Fu Hongyu's cries, walked away, phone in hand, to another room. He gazed at Wang Yu in the video, respectfully stating in somewhat halting Chinese, Hello, young Master Wang, my name is John Steve. What should I do next? Steve, I appreciate your assistance in this matter. Let us ensure that Fu Hongyu is sent to a maximum security prison for his retirement. Wang Yu replied, nodding as he sent him a location. It is my honor to serve you. I shall execute your will, and you may summon me whenever you require assistance. After ending the call, Wang Yu smiled faintly. Capturing Fu Hongyu had required some effort from Wang Jiangwo, who had enlisted the help of a friend from the British upper class to resolve the issue. However, securing his capture was indeed rewarding. It would be easy to kill him, but Wang Yu preferred he languish in comfort behind bars. He Chao Yin approached him with a smile, inquiring, Brother Wang, have we captured Fu Hongyu? Indeed, Wang Yu confirmed, pulling her into an embrace. Leaning against his chest, He Chao Yin huffed, it's good to have him caught. He is truly detestable for tarnishing your reputation online. This is nothing short of blatant revenge. You must not let him off easily. He deserves a proper lesson. Wang Yu tenderly brushed her hair with his fingers as the sea breeze tousled her locks, revealing faint red marks on her neck. His gaze drifted to the surging waves in the distance as he chuckled softly. Rest assured, his retribution has only just begun. Curiosity sparked in He Chao Yin's eyes as she looked up at Wang Yu's enigmatic expression, yet she refrained from probing further. Soon after, Wang Yu received a phone call. The voice of Uncle Li, the butler, came through, Young Master, we have clarified all of Fu Hongyu's assets, and, through various means, this sum has now been transferred to a private charitable fund. How would you like to proceed? What is the total amount? Wang Yu inquired. Young Master, the total is $830 million. Wang Yu's jaw dropped in astonishment. How could the son of a department head possess such vast wealth? How much had Fu Dexin embezzled? His capture was indeed justified. Fu Hongyu had hoped to win him over with $300 million, still harboring a delusional sense of hope. Did he truly believe he could enjoy that money? How naive! Uncle Li's voice echoed with disbelief. I never anticipated such a sum. Due to previous circumstances, the Fu family's money was all in Fu Hongyu's bank account, while all other assets had been liquidated. This has indeed simplified matters for me. Wang Yu shook his head, smiling gently. Uncle Li, please allocate these funds to support children in impoverished areas. Focus particularly on those unable to attend school and those who are disabled or ill. Furthermore, I do not wish for this money to be siphoned off by any influential organizations, so please keep a close watch over it. There was a brief silence on the other end before Uncle Li's voice grew husky, tinged with emotion. Young Master, if your father were to hear these words, he would surely be overjoyed. He cleared his throat and sighed, reflecting on the time when he held power, stating that his greatest concern was always for the common folk. During his tenure in the Northwest, he could hardly bear to see children squatting by the earthen walls, foraging for wild grasses to eat. In Chapter 344, this is the ultimate sashimi, he continued, do not rush to praise me just yet. Wang Yu chuckled lightly, saying he had heard that some charitable projects, after layers of scrutiny, barely delivered even 30% of the funds to the children in need. His tone suddenly grew serious. Gather a few trustworthy individuals and establish a dedicated task force. Every transaction must be meticulously documented and regularly audited. Should I discover any nefarious intentions, I will not hesitate to act. Rest assured, with Uncle Li keeping watch, there will be no mistakes. Uncle Li replied with a warm smile. After exchanging a few pleasantries with Uncle Li, Wang Yu ended the call. He Chaoyan nestled in Wang Yu's embrace, her fingertips gliding slowly over his chest. This amounts to $800 million, she mused, tracing circles on Wang Yu's chest before suddenly lifting her head to nibble at his Adam's apple. How many bags could this buy? And you are giving it away to impoverished children? You little money grubber. When did you become so materialistic? Wang Yu looked down at her, playfully pinching her flushed earlobe. He Chaoyan huffed. I'm not a little money grubber. Her voice was sweet as honey, akin to a soft candy steeped in syrup. I just think that transforming Fu Hongyu's dirty money into school bags and pencils for children is far more impressive than when you were fishing earlier. Her gaze toward Wang Yu brimmed with adoration. She was utterly smitten with him. Initially, her connection to Wang Yu was driven by her father's wishes, as the family needed this son-in-law. However, she grew to genuinely love Wang Yu, having won him over from her sister He Chaoxin, who also harbored feelings for him. Although she felt a slight awkwardness at first, she now felt immensely grateful that she did not relinquish him just because He Chaoxin liked Wang Yu. There are countless wealthy second-generation heirs in the world, and even $800 million was enough to tempt her. Yet, Wang Yu had unhesitatingly donated it. His kindness was indeed a rare gem. When people are at the bottom, they often empathize with poverty and suffering, but once they ascend to higher echelons and stand atop the social pyramid, they tend to look down upon the masses, viewing their origins as a blemish they wish to conceal, striving to sever ties completely, believing themselves to be superior. Just like Fu Hongyu, who was arrogant and a quintessential scion of privilege. He Chaoyan harbored a deep-seated disdain for such individuals, which only intensified her affection for Wang Yu. This was the man for her, the one she was meant to cherish. She believed that no matter how many women might come into Wang Yu's life, his love for her would remain unwavering. Wang Yu gently kissed He Chaoyan's rosy lips and smiled. There will be more impressive moments tonight. Do not run away. How infuriating. He Chaoyan's cheeks flushed with embarrassment upon hearing this, her large eyes sparkling beautifully. At that moment, Wang Yu's phone rang. He picked it up to find a text message displaying a single line. Hackers and related personnel have been eliminated. Wang Yu placed his phone back in his pocket, a subtle smile gracing his lips. The enemies had already approached him, and he was not one to overlook their intentions. Those who dared to offend him, even from the other side of the world, would inevitably face his relentless pursuit. On the deck of the yacht, several chefs had arrived to prepare a sumptuous feast. Grilled marlin, steamed grouper, and of course, the freshly caught bluefin tuna, which a skilled chef was transforming into delicate sashimi using the finest cuts. He Yu-jun reclined lazily in his chair, a cigar delicately held between his fingers, watching as the chef expertly sliced the bluefin tuna's belly into translucent fillets, artfully placing them onto the plates of Wang Yu and He Xiaolian. He Yu-jun picked up a piece of fish with a silver fork, sprinkled it with a touch of freshly ground sea salt, and drizzled a few drops of lemon juice before placing it in his mouth. With a satisfying chew, he closed his eyes momentarily, savoring the experience. The granules of sea salt burst on his tongue, enhancing the rich, fatty essence of the bluefin tuna. The aroma of the fat spread through his palate like melting butter, perfectly complemented by the tang of the lemon. An exquisite delight. Raising an eyebrow, He Yu-jun lifted another slice of fish to the sunlight, admiring the intricate, spiderweb-like marbling of fat shimmering under the lemon juice. He turned to Wang Yu and exclaimed, "You must try this. This is the pinnacle of sashimi. This is fish at its finest. The sashimi I've had before pales in comparison to this bluefin tuna." Wang Yu raised an eyebrow and, taking a piece of sashimi from his plate, dipped it in soy sauce before tasting it. His eyes lit up with delight. Indeed, this was the fish that He Yu-jun had praised, truly delectable. Even he, who was not particularly fond of sashimi, found it entirely acceptable, devoid of any fishy taste. He Xiaoxian, observing the lavish spread prepared by the chef, had already indulged to the point of gluttony. With a piece of fish fillet in her mouth, she mumbled, "Brother Wang Yu, you should eat more. The chefs aboard are all from five-star hotels and are experts in seafood." "Absolutely," Wang Yu replied, a satisfied smile adorning his face. Meanwhile, the viewers in the live stream were practically drooling over the seafood they were witnessing. Shi Mengyao mischievously held a piece of bluefin tuna up to the camera, grinning. Dear viewers, this tuna is absolutely delicious. I bet you've never had anything like it. Mengyao, please don't tempt us. Just sell the remaining bluefin tuna directly. Another viewer chimed in. I'm dying of envy. I've already ordered salmon sashimi, and it should arrive soon. Can your measly salmon even compare to this fish? I think I'll just wait for the host to sell it, someone else remarked. It's easy for you to say, but even if the host does sell it, we probably can't afford it. The price of bluefin tuna is exorbitant. This fish must be even more so. I'm at work and nearly in tears. I'm about to order my favorite meal as a consolation, another lamented. The chat room was abuzz with excitement. Countless viewers envious of Wang Yu and his companion's seafood feast. As Wang Yu relished the fish in his mouth, he suddenly declared, "What is a meal of fish without some wine? Bring me a drink. Do not rush. The wine will be brought shortly." He Yujun devoured his food with fervor, akin to a famished soul reborn. Observing this, He Chaoyan and He Chaoxin stifled their laughter, while Shi Mengyao could hardly bear to watch, shaking her head repeatedly. Soon, a waiter presented a bottle of exquisite French oak-aged Chardonnay, pouring it for Wang Yu and the others. Upon tasting it, Wang Yu's eyes lit up. The sweetness of the fish and meat was instantly enlivened by the wine's acidity, transforming the originally smooth texture into a distinct and delectable experience. This pairing is simply divine. Wang Yu exhaled a sound of admiration. He Yujun, with his mouth full of grilled tuna jaw, mumbled in agreement. My dad specifically had the winery reserve this, saying it pairs perfectly with bluefin tuna. The live stream's chat was instantly flooded with comments expressing envy and longing to experience this flavor for themselves, though they could only watch. To avoid disturbances from the viewers, Shi Mengyao waved goodbye to her fans and ended the broadcast. Due to Wang Yu's appearance, this live session had also been marred by an incident involving Fu Hongyu hiring hackers to expose information. Yet Shi Mengyao's Douyin account unexpectedly gained 3 million followers as a result. She felt particularly joyful and offered a sincere apology for any trouble caused to Wang Yu and He Yujun due to the live stream. He Yujun, He Chaoxin, and He Chaoyan had known each other for a long time and were friends, so they bore no ill will toward her, especially since He Yujun was her boyfriend. This incident had long been orchestrated by Fu Hongyu, who merely seized the opportunity presented by the live broadcast. Wang Yu did not harbor any negative feelings toward Shi Mengyao as a consequence. Events tend to unfold as they will. Fu Hongyu could not resist stirring trouble, and Wang Yu adeptly handled the situation. The dinner was a sumptuous affair, with sashimi, grilled, poached, stewed, and salt-baked seafood transformed into culinary masterpieces by the chef. After the meal, Shi Mengyao began to feel somewhat nauseous and dizzy. Unaccustomed to spending such an extended time at sea, she realized she was experiencing a bit of seasickness. Turning to He Yujun, she suggested, "It's getting late. Shall we head back? Why not spend the night on the sea? The sound of the waves is particularly soothing for sleep." He Yujun replied with a smile. Wang Yu concurred, saying, "We are currently positioned in the Pacific Ocean. Heading back now would take considerable time. Returning home tomorrow would yield the same result." Understanding that it was indeed late to return, Shi Mengyao relented, merely sipping her lemon juice in small gulps. It was then that He Yujun noticed her pallor. He gently touched her cheek and asked with concern, "Mengyao, what's wrong? Are you feeling unwell?" "I think I might be experiencing a bit of seasickness, but I'll be fine after resting a bit," Shi Mengyao replied, shaking her head. He Yujun immediately grew anxious, insisting, "Then let us head back now. We'll be fine once the yacht reaches shore." As he turned to find the captain, Shi Mengyao grasped his hand, leaving him puzzled. "Why are you pulling me back?" he inquired, bewildered. "It's nothing, just let me take a moment." Shi Mengyao waved her hand and took another sip of the lemonade on the table. "Is it really nothing? Stop being so fussy. I said I'm fine." Shi Mengyao angrily pinched He Yujun's ear. He Yujun winced in pain, but then relaxed, smiling as he said, "As long as you're fine." He pointed at several waiters, instructing, "You, and you, move the sofa to the center of the deck." "Yes, sir." After the waiters relocated the sofa, He Yujun helped Shi Mengyao to stand. "Mengyao, let's rest over there. It will alleviate the seasickness symptoms in the center of the boat." "All right." Shi Mengyao teased her sisters, He Chaoxin and He Chaoyan. "Sister, go ahead." "How blissful." Instantly, Shi Mengyao's cheeks flushed a vibrant crimson, overwhelmed by shyness. Once settled on the sofa, He Yujun allowed her to rest her head on his lap, to which she obediently complied. He Yujun diligently massaged her shoulders, the sea breeze tousling the loose strands of her hair. His warm fingers pressed gently on the acupressure points of her shoulders, a tingling sensation coursing down her spine to the nape of her neck. She felt so comfortable that she nearly moaned, her eyelashes fluttering as she caught a glimpse of He Chaoxin peering at them from the armrest of the sofa. She immediately shut her eyes, too shy to look. Wow, Brother Yujun, your technique is so professional you could open a massage parlor. He Chaoxin suddenly teased in a playful tone, while He Chaolian stifled a laugh, shoving a peeled mangosteen into Wang Yu's mouth. Wang Yu mumbled indistinctly, indeed. Treating a beloved one is entirely different. Xi Mingyao's face burned furiously, and just as she was about to struggle to sit up, He Yojuan's fingers pressed down on her shoulder with a gentle but firm grip. Stay still. Your shoulders and neck are as stiff as stone. He turned to the others, defensively asserting, you have no idea. Lying flat and getting a massage can alleviate seasickness, do you understand? Oh, of course we do. We see how attentive you are to your patient. He Chaoxin exclaimed dramatically, covering her mouth, her large eyes blinking rapidly. She elongated her tone, playfully winking at Xi Mingyao. Nestled on He Yojuan's lap, Xi Mingyao wished she could vanish into the ground. She swatted at He Yojuan's hand, her voice like a tiny kitten's. Let me up. Seizing the opportunity to sit up, she was held down by He Yojuan's hand on her shoulder, his warm palm pressing against the nape of her neck with an irresistible force. Stop squirming. It will be over soon. Just as he finished speaking, He Yujun suddenly increased the pressure on the acupressure point beneath her shoulder blade, sending a wave of tingling throughout her body, causing her to involuntarily gasp, biting her lip to stifle the sound as her ears turned crimson. I'm feeling a bit dizzy too. Brother, can you give me a massage? He Chaoxin feigned dizziness, patting her forehead and gazing at He Yujun with a pitiful expression. He Yujun merely cast a fleeting glance at her, disdainfully scoffing at her clumsy performance, and pointedly remarked, if you feel dizzy, your brother Wang Yu is right beside you. He Chaoxin immediately fell silent, lowering her head while furtively glancing towards Wang Yu, her eyes darting about. There seemed to be a grain of truth in He Yojuan's words. Wang Yu was so kind. If she were to faint, he surely would not remain indifferent. Perhaps he might even offer her a massage. Would such intimate contact not enhance their relationship? As this thought crossed her mind, He Chaoxin felt a flutter of excitement, contemplating feigning a fainting spell. However, He Chaoyan suddenly interjected with concern. He Chaoxin, if your head is dizzy, I will immediately summon the ship's doctor. Do you need that? He Chaoyan fixed her gaze upon her sister, her eyes brimming with warning. As He Chaoxin's elder sister, she was keenly aware of her intentions and would not allow her to flirt with her boyfriend in her presence. Even as a sister, she could not let her guard down. Wang Yu was now her boyfriend, and no one could encroach upon that. No, He Chaoxin muttered under her breath, calling her stingy, stomping her foot in annoyance as she rose and walked to the edge of the yacht, staring at the sea in sulking silence. Were it not for He Chaoyan being her sister, she would not concede defeat. Regardless of the obstacles, she would continue to pursue Wang Yu. She had merely entertained the thought and had no intention of genuinely approaching him. He Chaoyan was truly stingy. Chapter 346. It is quite obedient Wang Yu pretended not to hear the sisters' conversation. In such matters, he felt it best to remain silent. Besides, he was already in a relationship with He Chaoyan, making any pursuit of He Chaoxin utterly inappropriate. Had they not been sisters, akin to Qin Mingyao and Shun Qingya, he would have long since acted upon his interests. He Chaoxin leaned against the railing, turning to observe the affectionate display of the couple, feeling a pang of bitterness. Was it merely because they bullied her for lacking admirers? Oof. She would undoubtedly find true love. At that moment, the sea roared with the howling wind, growing fiercer. Bored, He Chaoxin gazed at the ocean, her hair whipping wildly, the end striking her flushed cheeks. Just as she was about to turn and sit down, a flash of white caught her peripheral vision. He Chaoxin froze in surprise. What could possibly be white upon the ocean? Was it a piece of plastic foam? The wind obstructed her view, forcing her to squint slightly, and she beheld the white form gracefully breaking the surface of the water, its streamlined body leaping into the air. When it fell back, droplets of water glittered in the sunlight, refracting into a myriad of tiny rainbows. It's a white dolphin, she exclaimed, her voice filled with delight. The marine sprite seemed to have noticed her, turning its gaze towards He Chaoxin. Squeak, squeak. In the next moment, the dolphin elegantly flicked its tail fin and swiftly swam toward the yacht. Wang Yu's sister, come quickly. There is a white dolphin. He Chaoxin excitedly turned and waved towards Wang Yu and the others. Upon hearing her, Wang Yu's interest was piqued. He stood up and beckoned He Chaoyan to follow him toward He Chaoxin. As Wang Yu raised his head, He caught sight of the enchanting creature of the sea, smiling. Indeed, it is a white dolphin. How adorable! He Chaoyan gazed at the white dolphin swimming beneath the yacht, her eyes brimming with delight. The dolphin, seemingly aware of the attention, mischievously turned its obsidian-like eyes, suddenly arching its streamlined back before gracefully diving into the depths. He Chao Xian tiptoed, peering over the edge, the sea breeze rustling her skirt. Just as disappointment began to creep in, the water's surface erupted with intense ripples. "Be careful," Wang Yu exclaimed, and before he could finish, the white dolphin burst forth from the depths, leaping high into the air and spraying a plume of water from its mouth. Fine droplets pelted the deck, prompting He Chao Lian to squeal and seek refuge in Wang Yu's embrace, her hair merely dampened at the tips. He Chao Xian, slower to react, was met with a face full of water, her hair dripping like a drenched chicken freshly emerged from the shore. "You rascal," she exclaimed, both exasperated and amused. As the dolphin floated serenely on the water's surface, its dorsal fin swaying gently with the waves, reminiscent of a child stifling laughter. It is said that dolphins possess high intelligence, yet I never anticipated such playfulness. It is akin to a child at play. He Chao Yin was thoroughly amused. Peeking out from Wang Yu's shoulder, Wang Yu produced a tissue to wipe her cheek, unable to suppress a smile as he remarked, "This little one is quite lively." At that moment, Shi Meng Yao and He Yujun approached. "My goodness!" Shi Meng Yao exclaimed, disregarding any potential seasickness as she eagerly clutched the railing. "What a delightful white dolphin! Look over here. Hey, come spray me." He Yujun shouted at the dolphin, making peculiar faces. No sooner had he spoken than the dolphin dove into the water, resurfacing at the rear of the boat, accurately directing a spray of mist towards him. "Wow!" He Yujun yelped, ducking for cover as his sunglasses plummeted into the sea, eliciting laughter from a group. "How amusing!" Wang Yu chuckled lightly, then leaped into the water without hesitation. He Chao Yin gasped, caught off guard by a sudden plunge. She quickly peered into the water, relieved to see Wang Yu was unharmed. "Wang Yu, why did you jump? It's so dangerous," she called out. Wang Yu wiped the water from his face and glanced at her. "It's fine. I'm just here to have some fun. Be careful. The wind is picking up and the waves are rough. I'll have the bodyguards come down immediately." He Yujun exclaimed, his eyes wide with shock. Jumping from the deck at such a height took tremendous courage. He certainly wouldn't dare do it himself. Yet Wang Yu appeared so at ease, as if bathing in a tub. Jumping at will. Concerned for Wang Yu's safety, He Yujun hurriedly instructed the bodyguards to launch the jet ski. Just as he finished speaking, the hatch at the rear of the yacht swung open with a thud. A dozen bodyguards clad in sleek black suits skillfully maneuvered the jet skis, shooting out like black arrows. Boom! 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 The roar of engines suddenly pierced the sea breeze. The first jet ski broke the surface of the water, resembling a black dragon leaping into the surging waves, its propeller churning up a white wake that carved bold arcs upon the sea. Following closely were the second and third jet skis, their engines merging into a deafening crescendo, while a dozen gleaming trails intertwined in the twilight. They observed from a distance, refraining from disturbing Wang Yu's enthusiasm, though remaining vigilant for any unforeseen circumstances, ready to respond at a moment's notice. Upon entering the water, Wang Yu was met with the curious gaze of a white dolphin, its dark eyes studying him intently, its tail fin gently swaying. Noticing the creature's lack of fear, Wang Yu swam toward it. However, just as he ventured a short distance, the dolphin suddenly executed a nimble turn and dove beneath the surface, propelling itself towards Wang Yu. He felt a rush of water beside him, and then the dolphin gracefully leapt from the sea, tracing a shimmering arc in the air, droplets cascading down onto Wang Yu's shoulders, accompanied by a series of cheerful chirps. It then vanished beneath the waves. Where did it go? Wang Yu scratched his head, perplexed. Almost immediately, he sensed a disturbance in the water beneath him, surging towards him. As he leaned down to investigate the commotion, a sudden force lifted him, the dolphin having stealthily positioned itself below him, using its back to elevate him above the surface. The dolphin emitted joyous sounds, and Wang Yu, struggling to maintain his balance, instinctively grasped its dorsal fin. Once stable, he realized the dolphin's skin was warm to the touch, distinctly different from that of other fish. "What a little fellow," he exclaimed, only to have seawater splash into his mouth. Before he could grimace at the salty taste, the white dolphin surged forward, cutting through the waves. Were it not for his ability to breathe underwater, he might have already leapt off its back. Yet, to Wang Yu, who feared not drowning, this was akin to riding a motorbike on water. The white dolphin sped across the sea with him atop it, prompting a joyous shout from Wang Yu. Woohoo! Be careful. Young master, we are coming to your rescue. The bodyguards on the distant jet skis stirred at once, anxious for Wang Yu's safety, swiftly preparing to intervene. I'm Fine. Don't worry. It's very gentle. The commotion from the bodyguards did not escape Wang Yu's notice. He was far from finished with his adventure and had no intention of letting them interrupt his thrill. Chapter 347. Truly unbelievable, what a delightful creature. The dolphin guided Wang Yu in circles around the yacht, enjoying the breeze. He couldn't help but caress the dolphin's dazzling white skin. Wang Yu, let me ride too. He Zhao Xian clung to the railing, nearly leaning over the edge, her curly hair tousled by the wind, excitement igniting in her eyes. Shouting, she kicked off her sandals, her silver anklets sparkling in the sunset, poised to leap after him. Miss, please calm down. Yu Jun firmly grasped her collar, exasperated. Do you think this is an amusement park? Beware of that foolish fish. Before the words had escaped his lips, the white dolphin, with a sudden burst of speed, darted past the side of the boat, splashing water with its powerful tail fluke, accurately dousing He Yojun's face. This prompted a chorus of laughter from several people on the deck. Is it mocking me? This dolphin possesses quite the intellect, He Yujun mused, wiping his face with a frown. Shi Mengyao let out a chuckle. Perhaps it's inviting you to join it. At that moment, He Zhaoyan's small head peeked over the edge of the deck, and she smiled at the group. I'm going down now. You all should hurry. Sister, wait for me. He Zhaoshan exclaimed, quickly rushing over and making her way down to the ocean via the yacht's side stairs. Yujun, let us go down too, Shi Mengyao said eagerly. Oh Mengyao, you're still feeling seasick. Just stay up here and rest. He Yujun attempted to dissuade her. There's no time. However, Shi Mengyao completely disregarded his advice and enthusiastically followed the He sisters down. He Yujun, realizing he could not prevent this, resigned himself to silence. Upon seeing the others descend, Wang Yu tightly squeezed his legs together, trying to halt the dolphin's progress. To his surprise, the white dolphin obediently came to a stop right in front of Yi Zhaoyan and her friends. It gracefully maneuvered, slipping out from beneath Wang Yu, and immediately approached the girls. Its rounded forehead gently nudged He Zhaoyan's palm, and the mist from its blowhole, infused with the scent of the sea, left a dewy trace on her hand. How sweet! He Zhaoyan exclaimed softly, her fingertips delicately caressing the dolphin's jawline. Its obedient demeanor was even more charming than the family's pet, Samyed. She couldn't help but fantasize about bringing this dolphin home. The white dolphin emitted a low purring sound, its fluke creating gentle ripples in the water, and it even squinted its eyes like a contented cat. Seeing this, Shi Mengyao cautiously extended her hand. Just as her fingertips brushed the dolphin's back, it playfully flicked its tail, splattering water onto her cheek and eliciting a melodious laugh that seemed to chase away her seasickness. The bold He Zhaoshan crouched down with open arms, and the white dolphin appeared to comprehend her intentions, resting its head in her embrace, allowing her to stroke its forehead. Should I hold you accountable for splashing me earlier? She teased with a giggle, playfully scrunching her nose at the dolphin, which responded with a series of cheerful whistles, as if it were playfully defending itself. Quick, let me touch it. I've never petted a white dolphin before. He Yujun, who had just joined them in the water, was overjoyed and reached out eagerly. However, just as his fingers were about to make contact with the dolphin's smooth skin, it swiftly twisted away, slipping from his grasp. It swam behind him, flicking its tail in a playful manner, splashing water directly onto his face. This elicited a fit of laughter from He Zhaoshan, who bent over in amusement. Brother, it seems you're being shunned. Hey, no need to hold a grudge. He Yujun retorted, irritated, and turned to block the dolphin's path. Yet, the dolphin merely let out a soft grunt before diving into the water, causing him to lunge forward and fall clumsily into the sea. As he awkwardly wiped his face, a sudden sound erupted from above, and a dolphin emerged from the diagonal front, its blowhole releasing a mist of water that cascaded onto his head, transforming his meticulously styled hair into a disheveled mess. Shi Mengyao stifled a giggle, extending her fingertips to gently touch the dolphin's jaw, perhaps sensing her tenderness. The white dolphin not only remained still, but also tilted its head toward her palm, emitting a low, rumbling sound reminiscent of a cat's purr. Seizing the opportunity, He Yujun reached out again, this time poised to touch the dorsal fin, but the dolphin unexpectedly blew a stream of bubbles in his direction. Ha ha ha. He Zhaoyan laughed so hard she had to lean against Wang Yu for support. Yujun, who told you to make faces at it? It seems rather upset with you. Wang Yu turned his head, suppressing his laughter. This dolphin exhibited quite the personality, No matter how stealthily He Jun approached, it always anticipated his movements and evaded his touch. Seemingly intent on tormenting him alone, he endured quite the ordeal in the water, even swallowing several mouthfuls of seawater. I won't touch you anymore. You've truly bested me. He Jun surrendered, raising both hands in defeat. I was wrong. I shouldn't have provoked you. Only then did the white dolphin leisurely swim to Wang Yu's side, gently nudging its forehead against his hand, as if seeking praise. Does the animal kingdom also judge beauty? It's utterly absurd. He Jun gazed at its mischievous eyes, feeling a wave of despair. Noticing the flicker of anticipation in He Chaoyan's eyes, Wang Yu reached out to gently brush aside the strands of hair clinging to her forehead from the seawater. Would you like to give it a try? It probably won't refuse. I do. The white dolphin seemed to receive the command, swimming over to their feet and emitting a joyful series of sounds. Hold on tight to me. Instinctively, He Chaoyan wrapped her arms around Wang Yu's body. The dolphin suddenly let out a long, melodic call, then dived beneath the water, lifting both Wang Yu and He Chaoyan beneath it. As the white dolphin propelled them through the water, the bracing sea breeze, laden with fine spray, rushed towards them. He Chaoyan's gasp caught in her throat, transforming into a sound of delight. The dolphin's powerful tail propelled them forward, producing cheerful sounds as it swam. Don't be afraid. Wang Yu's voice whispered in her ear, his palms securely encircling her waist. Only then did He Chaoyan realize she was gripping his arm tightly, her knuckles turning white. The white dolphin, perhaps sensing her tension, suddenly emitted a series of cheerful whistles, its back gently rising and falling as if to soothe her. As it accelerated, the water parted on either side, creating a barrier, with splashes of water refracting the sunlight into a rainbow-like halo, enveloping the two in a cascade of shimmering light and shadow. Gradually, He Chaoyan relaxed, releasing her grip and allowing the cool seawater to flow past her. The dolphin seemed to understand her intentions, occasionally gently swaying its body, causing the waves to tenderly lap at her feet. At times, it would leap suddenly, then land smoothly, sending sprays of water that elicited clear, melodious laughter from He Chaoyan. She turned to Wang Yu, noticing the joy in his eyes. The sunset's glow casting a golden hue over his profile, enhancing his already striking features. The sunlight made him even more handsome. Chapter 348. The Glutton. Having forgotten to bring her phone, He Chaoyan lamented the missed opportunity to capture such a splendid moment. Frustrated, she splashed the water with her hands. Nevertheless, cherishing the exquisite scene in her memory was a delightful consolation. He Jun, with his hair drenched, had long since forgotten the embarrassment of being teased and could not help but shout, "Take it easy. Don't tumble into the sea." In response, the playful white dolphin flicked its tail, sending another wave of water splashing right onto his face, prompting a chorus of laughter from the onlookers. The white dolphin carried them in a grand arc across the ocean surface, gradually slowing as they approached the yacht. It gently swayed its back, securely depositing both of them back into the water. It's my turn. I want to ride the dolphin. Before He Chaoyan could finish her sentence, she had already lunged towards the creature. The dolphin offered no resistance. Instead, it gracefully waved its tail, guiding her in elegant arcs upon the water surface. Elated, He Chaoyan spread her arms wide, the sea breeze tousling her hair, strands adorned with tiny fragments of shell shimmering in the setting sun. After spinning He Chaoyan around several times, the dolphin paused and emitted a series of soft chirps toward Shi Mengyao, inviting her to take a seat upon its back. Cautiously, Shi Mengyao climbed aboard, and the dolphin began to swim slowly, occasionally turning its head to emit gentle sounds, as if checking on her well-being. He Jun watched with envy, attempting to approach several times, only to be deftly evaded by the dolphin or splashed back by its flicking tail. "What gives?" he exclaimed, hands on his hips, water still dripping from his hair. "Am I really so unappealing to you?" As if it understood his complaint, the dolphin suddenly leaped high into the air with Shi Mengyao, tracing a graceful arc before perfectly splashing water onto He Jun's face just before landing back in the sea. He Chaoyan laughed uncontrollably. "Brother, just accept it. This dolphin holds grudges and has a preference for looks." Shi Mengyao, amused, covered her mouth as she giggled, her previously pale cheeks now flushed with color. Seemingly sensing Shi Mengyao's discomfort, the dolphin gently approached He Chaoyan and the others, slowly lowering her into the water. Undeterred, He Jun seized the moment as the dolphin released Shi Mengyao, lunging forward in an attempt to grasp its dorsal fin. The dolphin reacted swiftly, diving sideways into the water, leaving He Jun to plunge into the sea with a loud splash. The nearby bodyguards couldn't help but burst into laughter, their mirth drowning out the roar of the engines. One bodyguard tossed a shimmering fish towards Yu Jun, saying, "Young master, dolphins love treats. Why not try enticing it with this?" Seizing the glimmering fish midair, Yu Jun declared, "Greedy are we? Let us see if this works." He waved the fish enticingly at the dolphin, left with no other option but to give it a try. The dolphin, which had been lazily flicking its tail, suddenly halted, its obsidian eyes fixated on the fish in Yu Jun's grasp, its call now tinged with urgency. He Chaoxin, arms crossed and head tilted with a smirk, remarked, "Brother, it seems to be working after all." Yu Jun stealthily approached, fish in hand, determined to win the dolphin's favor. The white dolphin retreated a step, its keen senses alert. Yet it could not resist fixating on the writhing prey in his hand, emitting a series of conflicted whines. As Yu Jun cautiously extended the fish forward, the dolphin surged forth with lightning speed, snapping its jaws around the fish and splashing water all over his face once more. However, Yu Jun was well prepared. Seizing the moment the dolphin lowered its head to swallow, he grasped its dorsal fin tightly. The white dolphin shook its head violently, yet could not break free. "I've won. Ha ha ha!" Yu Jun exclaimed triumphantly. Initially, the dolphin thrashed its head vigorously, but upon realizing that Yu Jun meant no harm, it suddenly calmed down. Before Yu Jun could revel in his victory, the dolphin's tail fin struck the water with a mighty slap, propelling it forward like an arrow, startling him into a cry as he clung desperately to the dolphin. "Slow down, slow down." The briny sea water rushed down his throat with the wind. His sunglasses had flown off he knew not when, and his hair was plastered against his scalp, leaving him quite disheveled. The white dolphin, seemingly toying with him, skimmed close to the crests of the waves at times, then leapt high out of the water, causing him to fear he might be flung into the sea to feed the fish. In the distance, the bodyguard, sensing potential danger, hastily accelerated the motorboat. Yet Wang Yu observed the figures dancing upon the water surface and suddenly chuckled lightly. Regardless of the outcome, Yu Jun at least managed to mount the dolphin. Though the dolphin swam with great swiftness, its back maintained a steady arc, clearly engaging in playful antics with Yu Jun, showing no intention of letting him drown. Shi Mengyao covered her mouth in laughter, watching Yu Jun gallivanting across the surface of the sea. She found that this usually boisterous and somewhat childish individual appeared rather charming at that moment. Indeed, as Yu Jun's shouts gradually diminished, the dolphin slowed its pace, tracing gentle circles upon the water's surface, transforming what seemed like provocation into a soothing gesture akin to comforting a child. Yu Jun wiped the seawater from his face, only to find that the droplets mingled with tears, whether from being jolted or from emotion, he could not tell. He quickly brushed them away, fearful of being seen by Wang Yu and the others. The white dolphin, seemingly enjoying itself, executed a sharp turn, racing back towards the yacht with Yu Jun aboard, halting abruptly just half a meter from the boat's edge, sending a colossal wave that tossed Yu Jun directly into the water. Splash! That was exhilarating. Totally worth it. Yu Jun emerged from the water, face dripping, yet his smile was radiant. In the distance, the white dolphin surfaced, joyfully calling out to him, both challenging and celebrating. Yu Jun instructed the crew on the yacht to toss the unfinished fish from earlier into the water. Wiping the splashes from his face, he shouted to the deck, "Throw down some of the lesser fish we caught earlier, but save the bluefin." The bluefin tuna was far too precious for him to part with, especially since it had been caught by Wang Yu. How to handle it would depend on his wishes. The crew, flustered, hurriedly brought over a stainless steel tray, dumping the fish into the sea. The white dolphin, initially circling at a distance, turned sharply upon catching the scent, its tail fin creating excited ripples, and exhaling a mist of water that conveyed its eagerness. "Do not rush. Allow me another round." Yu Jun tossed a piece of fish into the air, and the white dolphin leapt gracefully, its pearly back tracing an arc against the evening glow, skillfully catching its meal. As it returned to the water's surface, Yu Jun seized the dorsal fin, and to his surprise, the dolphin did not resist. Instead, it lowered its back as if inviting him aboard once more, carrying him across the waves. "Glutton!" Zhaoxin called out, cupping her hands around her mouth, her face alight with joy. Wang Yu observed Yu Jun frolicking atop the dolphin, a smile of resignation gracing his lips. His gaze then drifted to the azure depths beneath him, where thoughts stirred. He was traversing the Pacific, with 1,000 meters of ocean floor beneath his feet. What mysteries lay hidden beneath the surface? Chapter 349. Extreme descent. The exploration of the world's oceans has barely touched 5% of their vast expanse. And the area of the deep sea observed by the naked eye accounts for less than 0.001. The ocean, much like the cosmos, brims with enigma. Throughout history, countless legends have emerged, speaking of unique marine life and the tales of sea monsters that have circulated across nations. In the annals of Chinese history, stories of sea monkeys and mermen abound, igniting Wang Yu's curiosity. Fortuitously, he possessed the ability to breathe underwater, rendering oxygen no longer a barrier to his exploration of the ocean's depths. Additionally, his extraordinary physical prowess rendered him impervious to the pressures of the sea. Wang Yu contemplated the situation. Logically, there should be no danger as long as he remained within the limits of the water's depth. With this thought igniting a surge of excitement within him, he turned to He Xiaolin beside him, saying, "Xiaolin, I am going to explore underwater. Do not worry. I shall resurface shortly." "Ah, you intend to dive? Wait, there are diving equipment on the boat. I shall send a bodyguard to fetch it," He Xiaolin exclaimed. Moving to locate the bodyguard, Wang Yu swiftly intervened, placing a gentle kiss upon her forehead and smiling. "I have always been a proficient swimmer. I will return in half an hour." "Can you truly dive for such a duration? Perhaps it would be wise to wait and take an oxygen tank." Despite Wang Yu's assurances, He Xiaolin's concern for his safety lingered, her expression fraught with worry. "Surely, you are aware of my physical capabilities. Have no fear." Wang Yu grinned mischievously. He Xiaolin's cheeks flushed instantly, and with a playful slap against his chest, she admonished, "Just be cautious. If anything feels amiss, return promptly." "Very well. I shall heed your advice." Wang Yu embraced He Xiaolin once more before turning and plunging into the water, leaving her gazing vacantly at the bubbles rising to the surface. Her cheeks tinged with crimson. Wang Yu's form glided through the water like a fish. The sea enveloped him gently, sunlight filtering through the waves and casting dappled patterns upon his body. He extended his limbs, savoring the caress of the current. Each stroke sent forth sparkling bubbles that ascended gracefully, creating delicate ripples upon the surface. He attempted to breathe through his nose, and seawater surged in, causing Wang Yu to feel discomfort for a moment. However, once he acclimated, he discovered that he could breathe normally underwater, his body extracting oxygen from the sea as effortlessly as on land. A wave of relief washed over him. As he continued to descend, the light from the surface gradually dimmed, the water shifting from a bright azure to a profound indigo. Schools of vividly colored tropical fish darted past him. Some circled curiously while others, startled, fled swiftly. Upon reaching a depth of approximately 100 meters, the abundance of tropical fish diminished, replaced by elongated, silvery mid-water fish that glided like phantoms through the murky waters. The pressure increased, causing his eardrums to swell slightly, yet he adapted more swiftly than anticipated. His exceptional physique allowed him to recover almost instantaneously. As he descended further, the water transformed into a dense, inky blue, with the remaining light devoured by the ocean. The surrounding silence was unsettling, broken only by the sound of his heartbeat echoing in his ears. Fortunately, Wang Yu did not suffer from claustrophobia or fear. Rather, he regretted not bringing a flashlight. Unable to see his surroundings, he activated his X-ray vision, penetrating the thick darkness to reveal the hidden forms beneath. At around 500 meters, deep-sea creatures began to emerge, some jellyfish radiating an ethereal blue glow as they gracefully unfurled their tentacles, their transparent bodies shimmering in the darkness. Others, with peculiar shapes, exhibited flattened bodies, bulbous eyes, and mouths lined with sharp teeth, all observing this unexpected visitor with their strange gazes. As he approached a depth of nearly 1,000 meters, the environment grew increasingly dark and frigid. Here, the water temperature neared freezing, and the seabed's topography became intricate, with massive trenches and towering underwater mountains intertwined. Suddenly, a colossal octopus materialized from the shadows, its tentacles extending over 10 meters, glistening with an eerie luminescence. The octopus moved with agility, seemingly in search of prey. Not wishing to provoke trouble at the ocean floor, Wang Yu held his breath and quietly watched this behemoth glide past, his eyes filled with awe. At this depth, Wang Yu began to experience discomfort, yet he endured. As he continued to descend, the pressure intensified, reaching over 2,000 meters, where the seafloor's appearance grew increasingly bizarre. The creatures here were predominantly colossal and oddly shaped. Some fish were adorned with sharp spines, while others possessed enormous mouths and razor-sharp teeth, presenting a grotesque sight. His discomfort escalated Yet Wang Yu gritted his teeth and pressed on toward the depths. At 3,000 meters, the water resembled thick ink, nearly engulfing him. The pressure continued to mount, every inch of his skin feeling as if pierced by countless steel needles, and his bones creaked under the strain. Just then, a group of peculiar creatures emerged from the darkness. They were slender, roughly the thickness of an adult's arm, and semi-transparent, their internal organs flickering with a faint blue light. As they swam, their bodies undulated rhythmically, trailing behind them a long, shimmering tail that flickered with ethereal phosphorescence, reminiscent of a meteor streaking across the night sky. Wang Yu curiously observed this group of creatures, but before he could examine them closely, a colossal ribbon floated towards him from an angle. It was a vibrant eel, over a meter in length, its surface shimmering with fantastical colors that intertwined and morphed in the darkness. Gracefully it swayed its body, its elongated dorsal and pelvic fins resembling delicate gossamer, gently fluttering in the water. After circling around Wang Yu a few times and realizing he was not its prey, it gradually vanished into the abyss. Wang Yu continued his descent, the surrounding water growing increasingly frigid, the chill penetrating like countless fine needles into his very marrow. He sensed that his body was nearing its limits. The pressure weighed heavily upon him, causing discomfort, and his internal organs began to crack under the strain. In agony, Wang Yu inhaled a mouthful of seawater, his entries swiftly healing and restoring his damaged insides. He bore the intense pain with unwavering resolve, determined to explore the depths he had ventured into. As he approached a depth of 4,500 meters, the scene before him became increasingly surreal and enigmatic. In the pitch darkness, countless bioluminescent creatures shimmered like stars in the night sky, illuminating this shadowy realm. Fish were nearly non-existent here. Most of these beings were diminutive, some resembling glowing specks of dust, gracefully drifting in the water. Wang Yu struggled to swim, each stroke feeling as though he was pushing a tremendous weight. This place was truly a human taboo. Were it not for the numerous entries enhancing his capabilities, he would have long succumbed to its depths. Suddenly, he perceived a vast shadow ahead, its outline flickering in the gloom. As he drew closer, he discerned that it was a monumental underwater mountain range, formed of bizarrely shaped rocks, adorned with an array of peculiar organisms. Some rocks were encrusted with white, coral-like protrusions that glimmered faintly. These were not corals, but a type of deep-sea sponge, witnesses to the history of the blue planet, having survived since ancient times. Upon reaching the mountain, Wang Yu finally exhaled in relief. Had he not found the bottom, he would have begun to contemplate a return. At that moment, his body had reached its peak limit. His internal organs felt as though they might burst from the pressure, and his limbs had grown numb and unresponsive. This was no place for a human to linger. The surroundings were enveloped in darkness, illuminated only by unfamiliar, bioluminescent species. Standing atop this nearly 5,000-meter-deep Pacific seabed mountain range, Wang Yu gazed around, finding himself in a silent and mysterious world. In the crevices and depressions of the mountains lay thick accumulations of deep-sea sediments, composed of rotting remnants of marine life, sand, and other materials that, after decaying, formed a black carpet covering the ocean floor. Some diminutive deep-sea organisms, such as myriapods, navigate through the sediment. Though minuscule in size, they possess a unique mode of survival, relying on organic matter that drifts down from the upper ocean for sustenance. Along the slopes of the underwater mountains, colossal sea anemones thrive, their dimensions significantly larger than their shallow water counterparts, with some even exceeding 1 meter. These anemones extend their vividly colored tentacles, gently swaying in the faint currents of darkness, resembling flowers blossoming on the ocean floor. Surrounding the anemones, armored shrimp busily scuttle about. Some search for food upon the rocks, while others weave through the anemone's tentacles, seemingly seeking refuge from predators. At the summit of the mountain, a few peculiar fish glide through the water. Most of these fish have flattened bodies and protruding eyes, enabling them to better observe the movements above. Their muted hues, predominantly black or brown, aid in their concealment within the shadows of their environment. Suddenly, Wang Yu sensed a subtle tremor in the water's surface. A strange black fish, adorned with large, captivating eyes, swam past him. Its body was covered in tiny scales that shimmered with silvery light in the dimness. Beyond these creatures, the underwater mountain range also features intriguing geological formations. In certain areas, black chimney-like structures continuously emit mineral-rich hot water, creating a spectacular phenomenon. Truly, it is a marvel of creation. Wang Yu's mouth fell agape in astonishment. profoundly impacted by the scene before him. Despite the harsh conditions of this nearly 5,000-meter-deep marine environment, a myriad of unique organisms thrive here, forming a vibrant and extraordinary underwater realm. Wang Yu continued his journey along the mountain range. He moved slowly along the gentle slope, the soft and muddy seabed making each step laborious as he extracted his feet from the sediment. There was nothing particularly remarkable to collect, as the deep-sea life predominantly subsists on carrion, rendering their flesh inedible. Aware that his body had reached its limits, he prepared to swim toward the surface. Each stroke felt as if he were pulling a 1,000-pound chain, every cell in his body protesting, the ache radiating from deep within his muscles. Just as he managed to swim a short distance, the tranquil seabed suddenly stirred with turbulence. The once soft sediment became murky, and the surrounding waters boiled as if in a pot. My goodness, a volcanic eruption. This cannot be happening. Wang Yu's heart raced with alarm. Before he could fully comprehend the situation, a thick tentacle shot out from the cliff of the underwater mountain, swiftly coiling toward him. The tentacle was adorned with suction cups the size of bowls, each edge glinting with a menacing sheen, rendering it particularly fearsome in the pitch-black depths of 5,000 meters. What on earth is that? Wang Yu cried out in terror, his voice instantly swallowed by the ocean. He desperately twisted his body, attempting to evade the sudden onslaught. However, beneath the immense pressure of the ocean depths, the overwhelming force rendered his movements sluggish. The tentacles moved with astonishing agility through the water, bending and stretching with breathtaking speed. Swiftly reaching behind him, in a moment of peril, Wang Yu sidestepped, feeling the tentacle graze his arm, leaving a trail of bloody marks from the powerful suckers. Ignoring the pain, he gritted his teeth and swam forward with all his might. At that moment, his heart was gripped by profound terror. After all, he was at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, 5,000 meters deep, where only small fish and microorganisms could survive. Yet, judging by the size of the tentacle, this unknown creature was terrifyingly massive. Wang Yu swam urgently towards the surface, but the creature lurking in the darkness was not about to relinquish its prey easily. Soon, a second and a third tentacle emerged from the cliff, thrashing wildly in the water and completely sealing off his escape. As more tentacles appeared, the water grew increasingly murky. Suddenly, a colossal, unknown figure slowly surfaced from beneath the cliff. Wang Yu's eyes widened in horror as the sight before him exceeded his wildest imagination. Upon closer inspection, he realized that this terrifying creature was an enormous octopus, far beyond human comprehension. This octopus measured over 100 meters in length, its body resembling a massive island floating in the dark, immense and fearsome. Its skin was rough, covered in countless bumps, a testament to its ancient existence. In the dim light of the ocean floor, it emitted an eerie sheen, as if a multitude of eyes were watching Wang Yu from the shadows. The octopus's eyes were as large as dining tables, radiating a chilling red glow, resembling two burning ghostly flames, fixating on Wang Yu with an expression of boundless cruelty. Its tentacles moved like thick pythons, thrashing through the water, each as thick as a car, with suckers opening and closing ominously, producing a chilling hissing sound, as if declaring that he was about to become a meal. It was over. He was doomed. Wang Yu's heart raced wildly within his chest, almost bursting forth. He stood frozen, paralyzed with fear, as thoughts raced through his mind in search of a strategy. The numerous seemingly potent skills he possessed were rendered utterly ineffective in the face of this underwater behemoth. Since acquiring the highly coveted fighting master title, he found it rather lackluster at this moment. On land, he might have fought valiantly for survival, with a strong chance of escape. But here at the ocean's depths, under such tremendous pressure, not only was fighting impossible, but even fleeing seemed hopeless. Chapter 351. The lightless abyss on the surface. Wang Yu had yet to return, causing He Chaolian to grow anxious. As time stretched beyond half an hour without a sign of movement on the water's surface, her concern for Wang Yu's safety deepened. Lacking the ability to dive, she could only call out to He Yu-jun and others, who were bidding farewell to the white dolphins in the distance. Come quickly. Wang Yu brother might be in trouble. He Yu-jun was taken aback, momentarily neglecting to ponder the sudden departure of the white dolphin. It swiftly swam towards He Chaolian's direction. Hearing the commotion, He Chaoxin and Shi Mengyao hurried over. We must think of a solution. Wang Yu has dived down and hasn't surfaced in nearly half an hour. He Chaolian's complexion turned pale, devoid of color, as panic and unease flooded her heart. Half an hour. He Yojuan's eyes widened in disbelief. Are you certain you're not mistaken? Without diving equipment, the world record is merely a handful of minutes. Suddenly, He Chaolian grasped He Yojuan's arm, her voice hoarse. I remember distinctly. After he submerged, I specifically asked the bodyguards to fetch my watch. Wang Yu, please don't frighten me. Where are you? Upon hearing this, He Chaoxin staggered forward, disregarding the seawater flooding her nostrils, and cried out hoarsely towards the ocean surface. Her lips were already bloodied from biting them. Her voice tinged with despair. No, we must descend immediately to find him. Something must have happened to Wang Yu. I need to rescue him. Saying this, she attempted to dive down, but was firmly restrained by Ximeng Yao. Are you out of your mind? Do you even know how to dive? He Chaolian quickly intervened. Don't act rashly. This is the Pacific, unfathomably deep. Let the bodyguards search. He Yujun took a deep breath, placing his hands firmly on He Chaoxin's shoulders as she struggled, his voice low yet imbued with undeniable authority. Xiaoxin, if you dive now, you will only complicate matters. He turned to the bodyguards standing by, his gaze intense. Captain Zhang, take a few men down to look. It is imperative that we find Wang Yu. Understood. Captain Zhang responded briskly, saluting before calling his team to don their gear. He too felt a pang of regret, realizing he should have sought Wang Yu as soon as he learned he had dived. At the time, he dismissed it, thinking Wang Yu would resurface if he couldn't endure the dive. Focused on He Yujun, he believed that remaining with a white dolphin posed a greater risk than Wang Yu's situation. Yet now, with Wang Yu submerged for half an hour, he feared the worst. Wang Yu had likely met with misfortune, and he might lose this tranquil position, fully aware of how much elder He Hong esteemed Wang Yu. Moreover, both princesses of the He family had taken a liking to him. Now, all he could do was his utmost, leaving the rest to fate. He Yujun consoled He Chaolian and He Chaoxin, gazing into the profound depths of the ocean, his expression complex. He could not believe that Wang Yu would encounter danger. Individuals like him typically did not toy with their lives lightly. Even as time elapsed, he retained unwavering faith in Wang Yu, certain that he would not perish so easily in these waters. Meanwhile, beneath the 1,000-meter depths where He Yujun and the others stood, Wang Yu faced a life-and-death moment. With no time for despair, as a prehistoric octopus took notice of him, freezing him in place. Its tentacles darted towards him with alarming speed. He exerted every ounce of strength to flail his limbs, striving to escape the octopus's pursuit, but fatigue and pain rendered his movements sluggish and feeble. The tentacles of the prehistoric behemoth swiftly approached, one of them suddenly lashing out towards him. Wang Yu sidestepped just in time. The tentacle grazed his body, and the immense force sent him tumbling through the water. He rolled several times before barely stabilizing himself. At that moment, more tentacles surged from all directions, encircling him tightly. Wang Yu felt akin to a small insect ensnared in a spider's web, unable to escape despite his desperate struggles. His breath came in rapid, heavy gasps. Seawater surged into his nostrils and mouth, siphoning the last remnants of oxygen from his body. Fear engulfed his reason like a tidal wave, leaving his mind blank, save for a singular thought: survive. He must not perish here. The ancient octopus appeared in no hurry to claim Wang Yu's life. Its tentacles languidly writhed around him, as though toying with its prey. Its skin was dark and rough, covered in nodules, and its crimson eyes bore down on Wang Yu with a menacing glare. Suddenly, before he could react, one tentacle ensnared his body, the sheer force causing his bones to creak painfully. Wang Yu let out a cry, the sound dissipating swiftly in the water. Subsequently, more tentacles coiled around him, binding him tightly, rendering him immobile. Wang Yu felt as though his innards were being crushed, the air in his lungs forcibly expelled. The muscular wall of the octopus's tentacle, adorned with suckers, began to writhe violently, as if countless tiny creatures were gnawing at his skin. The edges of the half-meter-wide suckers curled into sharp, keratinous barbs, digging deep into his flesh, leaving a multitude of bloody punctures on his skin. Before him, a massive maw opened wide. The stench intensified, shrouding Wang Yu's world in a suffocating darkness. Jagged teeth, each the length of a human forearm, glistened with dark green mucus. He could discern dark red chunks of flesh floating deep within the abyssal jaws, remnants of an incompletely digested, unknown carcass, with strands of blood and sinew still clinging to the white bones. No! Wang Yu thrashed desperately, striking the tentacle that ensnared him with all his might, but it was in vain. As the octopus gradually contracted its muscles, he was inexorably drawn toward the gaping maw. The foul odor nearly suffocated him. His life, still vibrant and full of promise, was not yet fulfilled. How could he abandon He Chaolian, Rin Ningxuang, Long Lily, and Karina, his beloved women, who awaited his return with hopeful hearts? He could not die here, could not succumb to this lightless abyss. He had so many unfulfilled promises, and his parents had but one son. How could they bear to lose him? Dying in such a place would mean being digested into mere organic matter, leaving no trace behind. But no matter how unwilling Wang Yu was to meet his end, he felt utterly powerless against the colossal creature. As he was drawn ever closer to the yawning abyss, the pain from the constricting tentacles became unbearable, and he resignedly closed his eyes. Dear parents, I sincerely apologize. In my previous life, I toiled relentlessly, yet I remained merely a cog in the wheel, failing to honor you as I ought. In this lifetime, I have fortuitously acquired a system, and my existence has undergone a dramatic transformation, elevating the Wang family to the pinnacle of power in Huagua. Yet here I am, facing the prospect of a humiliating demise at the ocean's depths. Chapter 352, A Blessing in Disguise. As Wang Yu prepared to meet his fate with resignation, a sudden thought struck him, and he opened his eyes. A card radiating a brilliant light materialized in his grasp, which he hurled into the gaping maw of the monstrous creature before him. Foolish system, activate the loyalty card. In his moment of despair, Wang Yu recalled the existence of a loyalty card, albeit one intended for use on humans. He pondered whether it might have any effect on the creature looming before him. Uncertain, yet compelled to take a leap of faith. With no other options at hand, and the system undergoing an upgrade, he could only hope that this card would yield even the slightest result. The card he cast transformed into a blazing streak of light, seamlessly merging with the octopus's formidable body. Suddenly, its massive form froze, and the tentacles that had ensnared Wang Yu slackened, the sharp, spiky barbs ceasing their assault. The once blood-red, vertical pupils of the octopus were gradually replaced by a look of bewilderment, its enormous body quivering violently in the water, stirring turbulent currents around it. Have you not heard that there is always a way out? How could I possibly perish here? Wang Yu fell to the ground, laughing ecstatically, a single tear escaping the corner of his eye, merging with the seawater. The temperature in the deep sea seemed to plummet instantaneously, while the surface of the ancient octopus began to emit an eerie fluorescence. Countless azure lights erupted from within it, resembling stars descending into the abyss. Following this, it released a deafening roar, the sound amplified by the water pressure, causing Wang Yu's eardrums to throb painfully, while the surrounding waters convulsed violently, dislodging debris from the distant seabed mountains. Moments later, the ancient octopus's movements gradually subsided. It lowered its head, fixing its glowing red eyes upon Wang Yu. The gaze that once embodied predatory ferocity was now imbued with a hint of innocence and submission. Tentatively, it extended a tentacle, gently lifting Wang Yu with a tenderness that starkly contrasted its prior brutality, as if fearful of causing him even the slightest harm. Lying on the ground, aching all over, Wang Yu gazed at the colossal creature before him, a mix of astonishment and trepidation coursing through him. Tentatively, he waved his hand, and to his surprise, the octopus immediately responded, subtly undulating its tentacle as if acknowledging his command. Is this truly successful? Wang Yu murmured in disbelief. He had never anticipated that the desperate gamble of using the loyalty card would yield such remarkable results. Was it really this potent? The description of the loyalty card echoed in his mind. When used on a person, regardless of their previous disposition towards you, their affection for you will reach its zenith. They shall never betray you. Wang Yu pondered once more, questioning whether the system had inadvertently omitted its efficacy on other beings. He was at a loss. However, a wave of joy surged within him, as if he had miraculously escaped death. The immense pupils of the prehistoric octopus narrowed slightly, seemingly aware of the injuries adorning Wang Yu's body, injuries it had inflicted. It suddenly emitted a low hum, extending a tentacle toward Wang Yu. No, Wang Yu thought in terror, instinctively attempting to evade, fearing another assault from the creature. Yet, the tentacle halted just above his head, its tip skin gradually tearing open, though no blood flowed forth. Curiosity piqued, Wang Yu glanced upward, uncertain of its intentions. Before long, a deep blue liquid began to seep from the fissure, gradually pooling until it formed a single drop of ethereal azure at the tentacle's apex. Wang Yu frowned. Although it was referred to as a drop to his eyes, it appeared to have a diameter of at least 1 meter. Despite his ignorance regarding its purpose, Wang Yu was acutely aware of his own injuries. Even with his rapid self-healing abilities, he required time to recuperate. He could only hope that this colossal being harbored no ill intentions. The drop of azure liquid hovered above Wang Yu, emanating a peculiar luminescence. The tentacle quivered slightly, as if suppressing pain, until the liquid finally descended. When it landed upon Wang Yu, the anticipated agony did not manifest. Instead, it felt akin to being enveloped in a warm, radiant mist. However, as the liquid made contact, it began to lose its vigor. A chilling, burning sensation coursed through Wang Yu's wounds, and to his astonishment, the gashes torn by the suction cups began to mend at an astonishing rate. He gazed down at the grotesque wound on his abdomen, watching as the torn flesh closed rapidly before his very eyes. Even more astonishing was the excruciating pain radiating from his bones. He could hear faint cracking sounds, reminiscent of invisible hands reconstructing his skeletal frame. Wang Yu could not suppress a muffled groan, yet amidst the torment, there was an inexplicable pleasure, a blend of agony and indulgence. He comfortably closed his eyes, nearly succumbing to the urge to moan aloud. As the final abrasion healed, an overwhelming sense of comfort and ease enveloped him. The octopus regarded him silently, its tentacles waving freely over the mountainous terrain, the bioluminescent nodules on each tentacle pulsating rhythmically. It seemed genuinely pleased with Wang Yu's recovery. It was then that he noticed a faint blue luminescence had begun to envelop his skin, gradually fading as his injuries healed. "Did you aid in my healing?" Wang Yu tentatively reached out to touch the octopus's tentacle, which recoiled momentarily, akin to a startled fish, before quickly returning to nuzzle against his palm with its suckers. The sensation was no longer the fierce biting he had previously experienced. It was instead gentle and soft. Wang Yu felt his strength returning at an astonishing pace. Testing his limbs, he discovered that his once-numb body could now bend with agility, even sensing the subtle ripples of the water surrounding him. He gazed at the colossal creature before him, which appeared as docile as a puppy, and smiled. He could sense a significant improvement in his physical condition compared to before. At least in the depths of several thousand meters beneath the sea, he no longer felt as uncomfortable. What he initially thought to be an inevitable demise was unexpectedly resolved. Now, this prehistoric creature had become his pet, exhibiting remarkable docility towards him. He accessed the system to examine his physical status. Host: Wang Yu, age, 20 years, height, 188 centimeters, charm, 120, the normal human limit is 100, physique, 180, the normal human limit is 100, endurance, 180, the normal human limit is 100, attributes, double cashback, effect, all reasonable expenditures will be refunded at double the amount. Limitless physique, enhancement 1, effect, from this moment onwards, you are the pinnacle of human physicality. Stabilization, effect, your physical state will perpetually remain at its peak. No wonder. Wang Yu realized that the enhancement of his body was not merely a figment of his imagination. That drop of azure blood not only healed his injuries, but also augmented his physical prowess, with both physique and endurance reaching an impressive 180 points. It could be said that he had turned misfortune into fortune. Chapter 353. Is the intelligence too high? However, Wang Yu's greatest gain from this expedition was evidently not limited to the enhancement of his physique. The enormous octopus before him was of paramount importance. This prehistoric behemoth rendered humanity insignificantly small in its presence, even with Wang Yu's physical capabilities exceeding the limits and possessing the pinnacle of martial arts. He appeared merely as a grasshopper before it, let alone other individuals. Furthermore, it thrived in the ocean, displaying little fear towards missiles or submarines. As long as it remained in the water, even if struck by a missile, the mortality rate would be quite low. With a maximum affinity towards this colossal creature of the deep, Wang Yu realized he would have the final say in the ocean from now on. The thought made him laugh heartily, filling him with immense satisfaction. He was yet unaware of the various attributes of this prehistoric octopus. So he activated his true eye and gazed at the gigantic creature. Species: prehistoric octopus. Lifespan: aging phase, length 1,683 meters including tentacles, weight 7,538 kilograms, affinity 99. Note: this is an octopus that has survived since prehistoric times. Due to certain reasons, it has acquired an extended lifespan, which has endowed it with extraordinary wisdom. It is advisable not to underestimate it. Wang Yu barely had time to marvel at the octopus's attributes, fixating instead on the affinity score. 99 points of affinity? This didn't seem right. Wasn't the description of the loyalty card supposed to indicate that it would reach maximum affinity with its user? Why did this octopus only have 99 points of affinity towards him? This left Wang Yu utterly perplexed. Yet, the system's upgrade offered no one to elucidate these mysteries for him. Unfazed by the underlying reasons, Wang Yu chose not to delve deeper into the matter, as a 99-point affinity was sufficient to ensure that this primordial octopus would not betray him. He treaded upon the soft seabed sediment, stepping gingerly towards the octopus. Its massive tentacles sprawled around him like colossal cables, each suction cup larger than his own body. The creature's enormous eyes descended to his level, exuding a blend of gentleness and an elusive depth tinged with a hint of warmth. You must feel quite lonely down here. From now on, you shall accompany me, where you'll be well fed and cared for, Wang Yu mused, gently patting its rough skin. His fingertips grazed the protruding nodules, unexpectedly feeling a warmth emanating from them. The octopus's tentacles curled slightly, as if reluctant to make contact, yet they brushed softly against the back of his hand. A delicate motion reminiscent of a cat's paw playfully kneading. Suddenly, the octopus emitted a series of low, bubbling sounds, akin to air bubbles escaping its throat. Wang Yu paused, momentarily taken aback. Although the sound resonated in his ears, it also evoked an image of a pet dog seeking attention. In the next instant, the octopus's tentacles danced with agility, tracing erratic lines in the sand. Wang Yu leaned down to observe. It was a rudimentary map of underwater mountains, with a distorted human figure at its center, surrounded by 8 winding lines. Clearly the octopus's own creation. Are you attempting to convey that this is your territory? Remarkably intelligent, indeed, Wang Yu thought, following the lines with his gaze. The octopus's tentacles waved excitedly, sketching a small sun beside the figure, its rays pointed directly towards the surface. Wang Yu's heart stirred as he realized the octopus was illustrating his emergence from the ocean's depths, the sunlight, humanity, and its own existence in the abyss. To think you possess such artistic flair, he chuckled, reaching out to stroke its tentacles. The octopus's appendages quivered beneath his palm. Suddenly, its crimson-slit pupils constricted sharply, its previously docile gaze now filled with a savage intensity. The tentacles, coiled around the seabed, transformed into awakened serpents, wreaking havoc upon the underwater mountains. Wang Yu's smile froze in place. His hand, which was about to retract, was gently ensnared by a tentacle. The grip was not harmful, yet conveyed an undeniable sense of pressure, the bioluminescent nodules on its surface flickering ominously, reminiscent of lightning before a storm. The seabed groaned under the octopus's destructive force, sending several luminous jellyfish scattering in fright, plunging the deep sea into an oppressive silence. What troubles you? Wang Yu feigned calmness, stroking its tentacle. Yet the octopus's eyes, glowing with a crimson light, flickered unpredictably, offering no response. In an instant, its tentacles coiled around Wang Yu's body. What the? He exclaimed, astonished by the turn of events. The octopus began to shake its head violently, its tentacles thrashing against the seabed, stirring up sediment that clouded his vision. Gradually, it lowered him back down. As the murky waters of the sea regained their clarity, the fury in the octopus's gaze vanished, replaced by a hint of confusion and remorse. It cautiously released Wang Yu, its tentacles curling like a remorseful child, gently brushing against the back of his hand, as if to offer a silent apology. Wang Yu wiped the beads of sweat from his forehead, exhaling sharply. What on earth just happened? In that moment, he was far from the poised demeanor of a wealthy heir. His disheveled appearance would surely astonish the viewers in the live stream, shattering the glamorous illusion of stardom. Yet, Wang Yu had little time to dwell on such trivialities. Something was amiss with this octopus. Logically, its affection level should have been a perfect 99, yet its behavior was inexplicably alarming. That crimson gaze had seemed as if it intended to devour him. Wang Yu cast another glance at the creature. Species, prehistoric octopus. Lifespan, old age, length, 1,683 meters, including tentacles. Weight, 4,538 kilograms. Affection level, 96. Note: this octopus has survived since prehistoric times and has gained an extraordinary lifespan for unknown reasons, endowing it with remarkable intelligence. Approach with utmost caution. Wang Yu's mind raced with a torrent of frustration. Just moments ago, the affection level stood at 99, and now it had plummeted to 96. How could it drop so swiftly? His throat constricted as he fixated on the affection level displayed on the system panel, perceiving it as a countdown to disaster. He had underestimated the situation. No wonder it had seemed ready to strike him. Its inherent will was breaking free from the effects of the loyalty card. A chilling dread enveloped him. the shadow cast by the prehistoric octopus resembling a noose tightening around him. He feigned composure and took a half-step back, only to nearly stumble over the seabed sediment. I need to return to the surface. You stay here and wait for me. I will be back shortly. His voice trembled under the pressure of the water, fingers flailing anxiously. Cold sweat soaked his back, and with each word, he swallowed a mouthful of briny seawater. He had to depart quickly while the creature still harbored some affection for him. If it fully broke free from the loyalty card's restraints, it would revert to the monstrous entity it had once been. Chapter 354. I thought you were dead. As if comprehending Wang Yu's words, the octopus's tentacles suddenly stiffened, a glimmer of confusion flashing in its enormous eyes. It slowly lowered its head, enveloping Wang Yu in its vast shadow, exhaling a putrid breath that stirred the surrounding waters. Wang Yu squeezed his eyes shut, his heart racing as if it would leap from his throat, until he felt a gentle touch atop his head. He opened his eyes to find the creature nuzzling him affectionately. Was it reluctant to let him go? Truly, I swear, I will return shortly, and I'll bring you some delicious fish. Wang Yu seized this flicker of hope, reaching out to pat the octopus's rough skin. Have you ever tasted tuna? You must have, given your long life. However, you have certainly never tasted bluefin tuna. I will bring one over shortly for you to savor. The octopus's crimson eyes suddenly gleamed, its tentacles excitedly undulating through the seawater, stirring up currents that nearly toppled Wang Yu. It pressed its head against the seabed, its 8 arms swiftly tracing crooked patterns in the sand. First, it sketched a plump fish adorned with a sun-shaped mark atop its head, followed by a small figure encircled by 8 wavy lines. It seems you truly understand. Wang Yu wiped the seawater from his face and offered an awkward smile. I'll be on my way then, he said, gradually ascending, each retreat cautious lest he provoke the potentially wrathful behemoth. The octopus appeared aware of his impending departure, emitting a long, mournful wail as its tentacles reluctantly parted to create a passage. I promise to return. Rest assured. Wang Yu inhaled deeply, grasping the cold tentacle. Only then did the octopus release him, all its appendages raised high, resembling a revival of the legendary kraken. Should the girls above, He Chaoyan and He Chaoxin, catch sight of this, they might very well faint from fright. Wang Yu dared not glance back, exerting all his strength to swim upward. Uncertain of how far he had ascended, the seabed erupted with violent commotion once more, startling him into accelerating, summoning every ounce of energy to propel himself upward. After an indeterminate period, he began to perceive a glimmer breaking through the darkness above. This light grew increasingly vivid, akin to a sword cleaving through the inky veil of the deep sea. Relying on his exceptional physical prowess, Wang Yu paddled towards this beacon, each stroke infused with his entire strength. As the briny sea breeze suddenly filled his nostrils, he crashed heavily onto the water's surface. Coughing violently, his chest ached, and he expelled a jet of water. Gazing at the sunset gradually descending on the horizon, he felt an overwhelming surge of elation within. He was alive. The prehistoric octopus had not pursued him. Wang Yu floated on the surface in a starfish position, overwhelmed with gratitude for surviving the ordeal. In the distance, the roar of a motorboat abruptly changed direction, racing towards him. The first arriving bodyguard skidded to a halt, and upon recognizing Wang Yu, his expression visibly relaxed. Young Master Wang, we finally found you. He helped Wang Yu onto the motorboat, inquiring with concern, Are you all right, young master? I'm fine. Wang Yu managed to smile. What about He Yu, Jun, and the others? Where's the yacht? The bodyguard handed Wang Yu a towel, stating, We are approximately 3 kilometers from the yacht. How'd you swim so far? Oh, don't mention it. Wang Yu sighed, drying off the seawater. Before he could finish, the bodyguard's walkie-talkie suddenly crackled to life, with He Yujuan's voice tinged with desperation. Have you found him? If anything happens to young Master Wang, my father will toss us all in the sea to feed the sharks. Reporting, young master, we have located young Master Wang, and he is safe. The bodyguard quickly pressed down the walkie-talkie button, and the motorboat traced a semicircle on the water, heading towards the yacht. Wang Yu took the walkie-talkie handed to him by the bodyguard and remarked, You should no longer be feeding the sharks. I shall return shortly. Damn it. You owe me compensation for emotional distress. Came the excited shout from He Yujun. Wang Yu moved the walkie-talkie away from his ear. All right then, with a smile. He ended the call. By the way, young Master Wang, the bodyguard suddenly lowered his voice shortly after you descended. The sonar on the boat indicated that the fish within 1,000 meters underwater went into a frenzy, all frantically fleeing this area. Currently, There should be no fish left in these waters. Did you encounter anything unusual underwater? I encountered nothing amiss. They simply swam away a bit further, Wang Yu replied, furrowing his brow and maintaining a calm demeanor. The bodyguard felt perplexed but refrained from pressing further. Wang Yu held a distinguished status, and this was a rare opportunity for him to engage in conversation. Naturally, the excitement was amplified by He Youjuan's promise of a reward for locating Wang Yu. Before long, the speedboat returned to the yacht. Around them, more than a dozen speedboats navigated back to the yacht's cabin. Those searching for Wang Yu beneath the waves also received news and surfaced back to the ocean surface. Upon returning to the yacht's deck, Wang Yu was greeted by the tear-streaked faces